No, I understand. It was wise of you to bring them here, Count. They'll receive the best treatment in all of Ustalar. Early signs of bleaching. This is the response to stimulus. An Iron Fang veteran? I think I recognize this. Her eyes betray much. Now, for their admission records, may I have their names?
Welcome back, everybody. So in our first few episodes of Strange Aeons here, we have begun to understand our situation, to figure out who we are, at least who we have chosen to be in the face of these horrors, and we have started to explore the grounds of Briarstone Asylum, trying to find, if not a way out, at least perhaps some answers, some way to understand what it is that's happening here. As we left off last week, we definitely found something. We had come to the very center of Briarstone and made our way into the office of Administrator Elige Lissandro, the leader. The leader's not the word I'm looking for, but the top administrator here at the asylum, the overseer, running all of the operations, ensuring that, well, when this asylum was a very effective facility, it remained that way. What we found, however, was something a little worse than that. A figure kneeling in a pool of blood, spread throughout much of the room, cutting it near in half. Their head tipped back and a multicolored mist constantly seeming to just pour forth, forming a cloud around her. As we tried to gingerly step by this cloud, manifestations started to appear. Creatures, faces swirling through the mist. What looked like a very, very, very old woman. Hobbled and hunched. A figure standing tall, unknowable features hidden behind a flat mask. And a face that we have all seen too many times already in our dreams. This man wrapped in tatters with his razor in his hand. Manifestations in the mists, but still figures forming solid enough that as they bear down upon it was Cammy. We know. Well, we're going to have to do something very quickly. Before we roll our initiative, it's been a couple sessions we haven't gone around the table and given a brief introduction of our characters. Seems like a great time for to start over here on Cammy's side. Who do we see here at the edge of the mist? Very looking comfortable
really
and great, like everything's gonna be okay.
You don't want to mess with right now, dude. I swear. You see a small, like, little over 2 foot gnomish lady, pink hair, in like a tangle of sort of frizzy curls, barely held together into 2 braids. Shaking with fear, wearing some both overalls and lab coat, torn up and way too large, cuffed so that it doesn't flop past her legs and her arms, being dragged to her death.
You're not being dragged anywhere. You're fine. Easy said you're fine.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, no, you're sorry. I forgot. Yep.
Easy. Speaking of,
Yeah, speaking of, usually I'm also shaking in fear. I feel confident about you being okay.
Okay.
I'm just a normal human person, about average height, average build. I got a bandana that works for a lot of reasons. Just brown hair, just regular, just
Dude,
jeans,
just a
orderly
guy.
uniform.
This is a man.
You just leather
Just like
boots.
any other man.
they
But
truly
with
do
a
walk
plan.
among us.
The
No, with a
blue-collar-
plan.
With a
Man
plan.
with a plan.
He's the blue-collared bard.
Blue collar.
That's man of the
bard.
people right there.
Love
Uh,
to see it.
bard.
All right. How about you then, Colby?
You see a mountain of an orc, 6'8", built like a man who's just naturally big and has always done hard labor. He has his arms bared, wearing a sleeveless jacket and a breastplate made out of a furnace grate. And down each of his arms, he has these scar tattoos that dots, lines, shapes, symbols, telling something. He doesn't remember anything about it. And then also one more notable is a scar starting from his brow, reaching all the way to the back of his head. His hair is kept shaved on the sides and up in the top knot, as clean as he can be in the situation he's in. Takes a lot of pride in who he was and what he looks like.
And next to that, I guess supposedly across the room as far as possible from that, we have our last member of the party today.
You see a 6'4" hobgoblin who looks very confused and anxious as to whatever's happening in the middle of the room right now, and the gnome being the one who's eating it, or is about to be eating it. Strapped with pipes, ropes, and a bunch of improvised weapons, a couple looking more functional, proper, but one's just a big wrench. Just a big, ugly, strong-looking guy carrying way too many bits of metal.
Strong boys.
Well, perhaps having a great number of bits of metal will work out great for you here, because it seems like there are quite a few figures forming. For now, though, it is time to fight. Everybody roll me some initiative. And let us start here, going back the other way with Trey.
16.
16.
14.
MD with a 14. EZ
15 plus 7 is 22.
22.
Ooh.
And Cammy
9 on the die, 15.
also with a 15. He wants to go first. You also got a 15. You got a 14. Never mind, you're right in the middle.
Cammy wants to go first.
Cammy would like to go first. Cammy would love to go
All
first.
3 actions, run.
Like, please do. Now, as you stand here, you came in the door from the administration wing with some of the other doctors' offices that you'd passed through. Behind you, back to your left. That door is open. You can see a couple of other ways that you could move through the room. There is a door on the other side of the office, right next to where MD is currently standing, as well as the spiral staircase in the northeastern corner of the room that leads up to this sort of overlook that looks to be just at the top of where this mist is passing. It doesn't look like it connects anywhere else, and whether or not that would be a reprieve, unknown. But it's further from these things than you currently are, and their initiatives. The red one got a natural 20.
No.
The red one wants
That
to
was
go
my
first.
plan
That is the one that looked.
A. I was going first.
No, my plan. I was gonna do that. We have an 18
Oh my gosh.
from the blue visage of the old woman, and a 17 from the purple form of the masked figure. As you appear,
Guys, it's
You're fine.
oh, I don't like that's not good. So the red one that looks like the Tatterborn figure from your dreams, appearing in the mist, is going to, as it starts to form, it doesn't entirely solidify. Its body still moves a bit and whirls and eddies of this mist that's just kind of billowing around it. But its figure does become more controlled, more absolute as it steps forward out of the mist towards you, raising that razor just like you'd seen in your dreams, but now just a figure seemingly carved of this translucent red fog. What is your... Oh, I guess I don't need to ask you, AC. I'll just roll you until the number comes out.
Well, is he... Okay, so is he attacking me?
It is absolutely going to
Okay.
go
Okay.
to swing this thing.
Is he attacking me then? Okay. Okay.
I'll give you a reaction. You had a moment seeing these were manifest.
Oh, that's
I'll
right,
let you.
because
I'll
I
let
haven't had
you.
my turn. Well, it's... Yeah.
I'll let you go for it in the interest of
Not killing you.
sportsmanship. I'll
Okay.
it.
I'll take it.
All right.
Cammy looks up and starts like waving her hands frantically. She's like, "Not just passing through. I'm looking for the bathroom. Please."
You wouldn't kill a gnome who had to pee, would you?
If you hit me right now, I swear I will pee myself.
That's an empathetic plea. That's a
That is
threat.
a promise.
An empathetic threat.
Nobody wants this. Okay.
Empathetic threat.
Empathetic P.
Empathetic pee. She's a sympathy peer. It happens. You don't know, as this figure bears down on you, if it can be reasoned with. But either if it were the base form of this Tatterman that you've seen before, or whatever this creation of the fog is, and it sure seems like it can. It's, it definitely. I mean, hey, I rolled that not on an attack roll, so that's cool. It absolutely unceasing. If it hears your words, if it reacts to your pleading, it does not show it. As this arm brings the razor down with a 12 to hit.
No, it doesn't hit.
As it swings, you realize in time to sort of duck out of the way here. It's like a very decisive movement. It's not like a quick strike like an attack. He's not moving like, I don't know, somebody that you were fighting. It's not even fast. It's a slow, almost lumbering passage of the mist sort of whirling through itself as this blade comes down. But it tries, as it gets down to the bottom, immediately you swear you would see the flash of metal in its hand as it comes back the other way for a 23. And she sneezes defiantly. 23 to hit.
That'll hit. That'll hit.
You all see the blade in this thing's hand, made of fog and mist, just like the rest of the being, pass straight through Cammy. It's not physical. It's not solid. It does not cut you. But you feel not the pain that you were perhaps expecting so much as almost just a passage of a strange numbness. As it cuts through up from your waist, coming out near your shoulder, you feel a strip of you that's almost like that feeling when your arm is completely fallen asleep. Not even the tingly, just like it's there, but there's nothing. It feels, you don't even feel your clothes hang against it anymore. You are going to take 3 points of mental damage. And I need you to make me a fortitude save.
Fortitude save or stress.
Super fortuitous.
Okay,
Oh.
dirty 20.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
She's good at these.
It's a strange feeling. Perhaps it's adrenaline or shock, but it's not nearly as impactful as you feared it might be.
Okay.
So plan A was going first. So plan B is still in effect.
Okay.
It's going
What's
second.
Which is
Okay.
Um,
You got great plans. This is why you're the tactician.
and then I'm gonna
That's the man
do.
with the plan.
I'm gonna see you in a lot of danger. I'm gonna be like, well, I learned you can make magic light, and I very much like things to be bright. The situation we're in is hairy, and the foes are quite scary, but they will not fight. And I'm gonna cast Sanctuary,
Okay.
What does that
which
do?
I actually don't have the card for. It sounded really good.
It is.
It sounded like you're gonna be alright.
So
No.
they have to make a save against your spell DC.
Exactly what it is. And if the creature is sentient enough to like have thoughts or morality, you have this magical compulsion to stop whenever someone raises a hand against her. They need to make a will save against your spell DC when they attack. If they fail, they lose the attack. If they succeed, they hit her anyway. If they critically succeed, it dispels the effect entirely. But it will apply.
They can't attack.
If they critically fail, I don't remember what happens. We'll cross the bridge when we get there. I'll have to look. I don't remember. But all of them will have to pass the check if they are mentally capable. Should they
the way you were
attempt to
describing it
continue
earlier, it made it sound.
attacking Cammy, and at least we have one action left.
Okay. And then.
What's Plan C?
Plan C is to play the violin.
Composition.
I'm just.
Play me out, boys.
Zephyr and Yeoman, good times are coming. Fate never assumes his bad luck, so fumes. Let's do something. And I'm gonna do Inspire Courage.
All right. Everyone feels this support, this inspiration from Easy's playing as this blue figure in the fog. This old woman moves towards MD. She steps towards you, not around this leather-bound chair near the hearth that's kind of interposed between the two of you. She simply steps through it. Like it absolutely does not phase her movement whatsoever. And as she approaches, you see a grin splitting her wrinkled face and a hand simply reaching out gnarled fingers towards you. It is going to be a 17 to hit.
I just kind of back away a little bit. It does not.
Again, not a quick attack. But as you step back again, this grasp comes out sort of chasing afterwards. Its follow-up's absolutely not going to land either. As a third of these figures, this purple, enigmatic blank slate, just robes, a hood, and a mask. Absolutely no identifying features visible at all. Moves just a bit forward, almost in front of the woman kneeling on the floor producing all of this mist. But as he steps forward, instead of his form solidifying like the previous two have, his starts to discorporate. The purple mist, the purple energy that was forming his being and spreading out, dissipating in a swirling wave that spreads over the area, washing around Cammy, around MD, and taking up a huge amount of space in the center of the room. And as this purple mist washes and swirls around you, I need each of the two of you to make me a reflex save.
Is this a auditory or visual effect?
It is not, unfortunately.
Okay. Plan C
It's just
is ruined.
mist hitting them.
No, dude.
That's why it's reflex. They're like physically trying to dodge the mist
Okay.
that's swirling towards them.
I got a 7 on the dice, so that's a 12.
As I see it happening, I hesitate for a second, but then I reaffirm myself and use a hero point. Natural 20.
Ooh!
Dodging mist
You
particle.
are near the you're near the edge of this, and you're able to kind of duck back against the wall, out of the way of this. Cammy, a little closer, is not quite so lucky. Again, you feel dots of this, almost like small raindrops, soaking through your jacket, forming on your skin. You're going to take 2 points of mental damage as you see this swirl before you start to you even expand further. Like the whole room is starting to shift and blur. You are also stupefied 1 and clumsy 1.
Oh my goodness. What is that?
That means that it is going to be very difficult for you to pull together the focus necessary to use your magic. Attempting
Your thing.
attempting to use a spell could lead to it just being lost entirely, but in addition, due to your clumsiness, it's going to become harder for you to physically dodge things. Your AC is lower, and you're just a bit staggered. This happens for a moment, The two of you outside the fog, Easy and Trey, seeing this before it pulls back together, once again forming this masked figure in the center of the room. Trey.
It's very clear that that didn't do damage, but the red
Nope.
one touching Cammy did something.
You could. I mean, there's no visible physical effect from
Like,
either
it
of
didn't
those,
look
but
like it
she
felt
is.
good.
Yeah, she is clearly in pain. It's not a lot, but it is clearly hurting her.
No clue what these things are. They look almost non-existent. The body that's spewing the gas looks real. So I'm going to ignore them and going up behind it, yelling over towards Cammy, just get away from them. And I'm going to
Yes.
bring the sword down and just hit the
And as you
whoever this is.
rush up towards this figure into the density of the mist right near its source, make me a will save.
Ten.
At 10, you would all see Trey gets probably about 3/4 of his sentence off as he rushes in, and you see his legs just buckle and he collapses prone on the ground next to the figure. You are asleep.
Oh no.
Hammy.
Oh, this isn't very cash money of you, AJ. Okay. First step, I'm running. I want gone. I want out of there.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Fair
First step,
response.
I'm gonna go like cower behind that desk over by Easy.
You can get up behind Easy with a single move action.
That's great. That's awesome. I love. That's a place I want to be.
It's not a desk, but it'll do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's so cool.
Try as hard as I can to be desk.
Yeah.
Thinking desk thoughts.
Thinking
Method
desk.
act. He's a method actor.
Focus
It's
your
giving
oak.
desk. It's and as soon as I get over there, I start kind of like slapping my arm to try and wake it up again. I'm like, come on. I'm gonna cast Lay on Hands on myself.
All right. Make me the Stupefy check.
I will do that.
Now, with Stupefied 1, it's going to be DC 6. It's just a flat check. It's about 1 in 4 chance.
Nat 20.
Okay, that 20 doesn't. I mean, succeeds.
Okay.
So you cast. It doesn't do anything fancy. It's a pass or fail.
Maybe
on
it's a little shiny.
It's like you super get. You definitely cast it. You very cast
Okay.
it.
Okay. Let's say it's shiny.
Super shiny. What you
and
rolling?
then I don't have to roll the rest of it.
Right,
I don't know
that
what
just-
I'm rolling.
Immediately heals you for 6
Oh, yes.
and gives you +2 status bonus to your AC for a round.
Thank you.
And you feel, easy you would see as you reach over and touch yourself, this again, almost like little hairs just kind of emanating out from where you're touching, these tendrils just sort of binding around, winding up under your lab coat. Very, very fine, shimmering wisps of something, but you would feel them. They would return the sensitivity to your skin. They would make it better before they just dissipated entirely.
Okay.
You have 1 action left. Land hands only a single action.
Okay, cool. So then I'm gonna. Jeez, I don't feel like it's gonna actually be helpful, but I'll go ahead and take my crossbow out.
I'm armed and I'm ready.
I'm gonna shoot through Easy's legs. And
MD in the back of the room here.
Oh jeez. Oh lord. Not one to learn from other people's mistakes. I'm going to approach the lady. Less hostile. Because I got to get close to the lady to get to him, anyways.
You walk up towards the figure. You too. It's not even so much like it's inhaling the mist. You might think to hold your breath as you walk in, but that's not even the problem. It's just exposure to it. Just as it wraps around you, as it envelops you, as you go closer, you could see the figure in the middle of this causing it. The mist isn't that thick. It doesn't prevent you from seeing through it. But as you get closer to her, it feels like it thickens. It feels like its density just consolidates around you until you can barely see the next step in this pool of blood you stride through. Make me a will save.
Do I get a good nappy time? Natural 20.
Ooh! Undeterred. Absolutely nothing from the
Stolen
mist.
face this entire time. As I approach the body, I'm not going towards him. I'm going towards the lady. As I approach, my first thing that I want to do is to check to see if she's even alive.
Bending down and looking at her here, that's honestly, given the situation of her, not immediately apparent. Make me a medicine check.
14.
The two figures you walk past here, the masked figure and the tattered man in the fog, both just sort of turn to face you as you stride between them up to this figure. Looking down at her, with a 14, you reach out. She has a pulse. It's weak, but she is not dead. She has absolutely no reaction to your touch, nor anything else that's happening in the room. The room still just staring, her eyes wide towards the ceiling as this mist bellows out of her mouth.
Can I kick him to wake him up?
Absolutely. Yeah, as your third action, there's no roll or anything. Like, you just automatically wake up. You're just regular asleep. So you would immediately feel him touch you, and you would just kind of wake up confused on the floor. You took a little bit of a nap there.
Mid-run, just...
Yeah, into the blood pool, just face down. The whole front of your armor and your jacket just slicked in this. But you are awake now.
Everyone, she's still alive. I feel like we need to retreat, figure this out.
And even as you do that, almost seemingly defensively, like it's protecting her, this image of the tattered man turns to you and lashes with his blade.
I haven't made a single hostile action.
What?
I haven't made a single hostile action.
You have not, no.
I did kick him.
I'm going to use my villain point because he seems, if they have like a motive, if they have a motivation, if they have thoughts, it seems frantic. It's definitely faster, more purposeful than what it had been doing when it was just swiping at Cammy. It's going to be a 22.
That sure as heck hits me in the back because I'm not paying attention to him.
And you were going to feel this numbness overtake your shoulders. The rest of you see this blade it just sink down into him. The tattered man swings and stops like his blade was biting into flesh and pulls it back out like he would if it was a physical object. But you again just feel this numbness spread through you. You take 6 points of mental damage and I need a fortitude save.
It's a total of a 13.
With a 13, as the blade comes back out from MD, you see the red figure in the mist solidify further. Its edges become more solid. It becomes almost more corporeal, and you start to feel a little bit less stoic. You are drained 1.
That's not a good one.
That is not a good one, no. That is going to functionally do another couple points of damage to you, but it is also going to reduce your maximum health by the same amount. As you feel your very essence being pulled out of you here. Easy. Cammy, you... No, not yet. Easy. But...
Can what?
No, don't worry about it.
Remember Sanctuary.
Yeah, okay. Is that action, so we're good for now.
Okay. So you said I found a black tar packet in the pile of Ratchet's stash. Stash. Do I know if that's flammable? Is that like a flammable tar?
I mean, if that's not its purpose, but it probably is, yeah. It's not like pitch. It doesn't exist to be set on fire, but by the nature of its being, it's pretty flammable.
So yeah, I'm gonna press that into the alchemist vial that I have, the fire flask, and I'm just gonna chuck it into, like, I don't want to get the big boys in the crossfire, but I do want to get her and the two other, if that's possible.
So the way the bomb works, you can throw it at a target or you can just throw it at the ground. Unbeknownst to what the tar is going to do to it, it has its impact for hitting something, and then it does splash damage to everything around that. If you throw it at the ground, it just does the splash damage. The splash damage is literally 1 on a regular alchemist fire. So if you don't have like a target for it, it's going to do very little unless they are quite weak to the fire.
I'm just gonna hit her. She hurt my friends.
All right, right into the lady. Just bean her. Make me an attack roll.
Is blood flammable? I don't. Yeah.
No. Which means you're very fireproof right now, Trey.
Okay, I'm gonna. Do that again.
It is.
Yeah,
She does
yeah.
not
Roll it back,
dodge it
roll
or
it back,
anything.
roll it
It's not a. I don't know what you rolled, but like, she's just sitting there.
It was a 3.
Maybe you're.
Yeah.
Like if you got like a total of a 12 or something, like
Okay,
that's fine.
dude.
Like,
I rolled a little less. Good. I rolled 2.
what's the total? What's your ranged attack roll?
What's my range attack roll? I'm really good at those. You add.
It would be. You're trained in it, so it would be. Oh, you're not trained in bombs actually. What's your dex modifier?
+3.
Okay, so you throw it vaguely towards her. It's
Solid 5.
you got it kind of like sticks to your fingers as you throw it off and doesn't really go exactly where you want it to
There's
because
a
it's got this tar kind of wrapped around it. So it just sort of whinges off to the side and ends up hitting the ground right in front of her. It's going to pop and splash over her and Trey and MD and the red Spectre and the purple Spectre.
Okay.
So Trey and MD, you're both going to take 1 point of fire damage.
Again.
You will see the fire as it bursts out, catch the tar, and just kind of shoot it out in what would be pretty effective, almost flaming little bits of napalm that would be clinging to a foe if they didn't pass straight through these figures. There's nothing for them to adhere to. That said, the fire catches pretty well with whatever this mist is. It's clearly not water or even necessarily a vapor because it ignites with
good.
this flash. And you see the red and the purple specters both light up with a wave of this fire.
Indeed.
No, plenty.
Line F fire. That was
And I'd
one
say you
act?
have one action left. We're like
Okay.
doing the tar thing and throwing it. I'll give you one action left.
Okay, and then I'll be like, all right, yeah, we can run away, and I'm gonna run towards the door. I'll run and
Out the door or towards the door. You're like 10 feet away. You can definitely go outside if that's what you want to do.
I want to be like right outside so I can still peek inside.
Okay, right at the door frame. You're like, I'm over here.
Classic-
MO. This is
yeah,
his
my
MO.
classic peek
Little
stance.
distance, little safety distance over here. The blue figure, as MD walks by here, what is it gonna floating over? I suppose there's already a lot going on in the middle. It's gonna float up around to the backside here. This old visage of an old woman drifting up towards Trey as you wake up on the ground, and you see her bending down. Her face, her body, like shaking a little, looking like she's cackling, but no sound comes out from this. As she almost reaches down, a hand extended as if to help you up. And
Sweet old lady.
a super cocked. That's going to be a 20 even to hit you, dirty 20.
That'll hit.
As she touches you, you again feel the same numbness. You take 8 points of mental damage. I need a will save.
19.
19 will save?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, will.
Yeah,
Sorry.
There's different. They do different things. Different saves on different ones.
13.
13 will save. That is a large divide between your will save and your
Yeah,
fort
it's a
save.
3 and a 9.
I guess it's a big gulf. I don't really got that big of a gap. Fair enough. With a 13, as she touches you, you feel this numbness, but you feel as if her hand is reaching directly into your mind. You feel hard, like it's hard to think. You lose track of where you are. The room almost for a moment disappears around you as she overtakes your thoughts. You don't know what happens, but the rest of you would hear Trey scream, not like pain necessarily, but like a tormented, almost like he's like a mental torture, an anguished cry that absolutely just kind of ripples through the room here. And MD, so close to him, I need you to make me a stress check.
I
That's
forgot what a
right.
D20 looked like.
We have
20.
enemies. Wow, just dropping 20s on the table. You got other
Why don't
stuff
I
going
get
on
to
in
make
your
the
life right
stress
now.
check?
You're okay because you're frightened 1.
I'm frightened 0. No, that's next level. Sorry.
You're frightened. Yeah, okay.
Bravery automatically lowers all.
Oh, right.
frightened by
Yeah,
1.
yeah. You will get the cool fighter thing. Right now, you're frightened 1 though.
Yeah, right now I'm frightened 1.
The purple one here on the backside of MD is simply going to reach out a hand like he was passing something to you. But his hand simply continues until it intersects your form unless you dodge away, which you definitely will with a 13 total.
Yeah, the red one made me turn around, and I see this happen. I'm no, I'm good. No, thank you.
And as you pull back, the hand just continues, seeming to widen and spread as he once again takes the form of the swirling cloud. I need you and Trey to both make reflex saves.
Well,
One of us got a 20. It wasn't me.
2.
You're on the ground. It
Yeah.
just goes over you.
An 8.
8?
Oh, reflex 10.
Oh, okay. I was like, 8 doesn't critically fail, so you're okay. It's just a regular fail. 10 still a regular fail. You're going to take 2 points of mental damage, and it's now you who is stupefied 1 and clumsy 1. Cammy, you feel yourself kind of recover, find yourself. Those conditions only last for 1 round. And now it is MD that has.
So good.
It's great. I like that, Trey.
So, it's time to skitter away.
Fair enough.
With both the frightened condition and already hearing somebody say it's time to leave, just going to stand up and 2 move actions as far back down the hall as I can.
This man's making a run for it. Blasting past Easy as he's holding the door for you here. Hammy.
Seeing, going to hide behind Easy and then him booking it to the door. I'm gonna be like, oh shoot, and I'm gonna make my way towards the door as well. Well, you know what? No, first I'm gonna load my crossbow and I'm gonna shoot the lady.
Screw you!
Yeah. I'm gonna be like,
Fire the blue one. Make me an attack roll.
I will do that. Okay, that's gonna be where's my button? 11 on the die, so 17.
17 is on target. Give me some damage.
Yes. Yeah, dude. Okay, what do I?
The D8.
What does it do again?
It's just a D8.
Found it.
Tap all the dice to feel around.
Yeah. That's a 4. Just straight 4.
Just straight 4. Yeah, crossbow is just, it does
Just
what it
straight
does.
four.
Not anything to it. So you, as she's sort of bending down, you see Trey get up and sprint away. She's wide open there on the north side of the room. And you fire this crossbow bolt. It pierces directly through her. I mean, directly through her. You see the bolt thud into the side of the desk behind her on the back end of the room. If it hurt her at all, it's not apparent.
I kind of take a second, like, jaw dropped, kind of staring, just like, they're like, screw you, man! And I start running. I'm out of there.
MD.
Sorry about that. I'm actually before MD takes off, I'm gonna reach into my bag and pull out a bottle of holy water, pop the cork, grab her by the cheeks, and just shove it into her mouth and force her to drink it.
Explosion.
I don't think it'll do anything, but you're probably thirsty.
Nah.
I don't know how long you've been here.
You dump this man. This is a great idea, honestly. The sad part is she is not undead because she's still alive. What does holy water? It only works on undead and fiends?
I think so. I have it right here.
Because that's a great play, but I don't
1d6
think it's
good damage and 1 good splash damage. It damages only fiends, undead, and creatures that have a weakness to good damage.
Yeah, and she is none of those things.
Fine.
So you're gonna dump this down her mouth.
Hey, she's not thirsty anymore.
And it's gonna like stimmy the fog spewing out for a second as you literally slam a bunch of liquid down her throat. You will hear it like bubble and gurgle as the mist pushes back against it. It's sputtering some of it back out of her mouth. But aside from that, there is no reaction.
And then turn around and just walk out.
Bye.
As you head towards the door, even as you are reaching the doorway itself, you seeing those of you in the doorway, easy, seeing these figures turn to track him. The Tatterman stepping forward, the purple mist reforming in this masked figure, the old lady riding herself and looking his way. As he even reaches the door frame, all three of them just fade entirely back into the multicolored fog that is the center of the room. Before he's even fully left the office.
So once he stepped out the mist, though.
Once he was fully removed, once he was a little bit of a distance, once he got about like probably 10 feet out from the edge of the main cloud, they'll just fizzled out entirely.
Like a motion sensor, or like a
So-
it's like a security system.
I made an occultism check on her.
Yes.
Can I now make one on whatever they were?
Absolutely. What is your modifier?
6.
Smart boy.
With a 6, looking at those, though their manifestation appeared to be of this mist, the way they move, the feeling you got when the blue one of the vision of the old woman in particular touched you, they are not physical creatures. You can tell whatever their actual form, whatever the cause that put them here, these manifestations do not have a physical form at all. They are all clearly, innately tied to the woman at the center of the mist, somehow. But the nature of their being means that, as you saw from the door as you were running, I guess, of Cammy's shot, the physical approach does nothing. So, MDs, you make it to the door. Do you still continue out of the room as
Yeah.
this all leaves? Shut the
Yeah.
door behind you?
We're just, yep, it's closed.
Fair enough. You find yourselves back in the hallway of the administration wing. No sound of anything following you. Your injury is admittedly very minor, but unsettling. And a new problem.
Let's see how many debuffs I can get on me at one time.
Now, your stupefied and your clumsy do fade pretty quickly as you stumble out the door. Your drained condition does not.
Probably a good idea we could talk to Winter. Whatever that is. We don't answer for it.
You can't really hurt it either.
And she's still alive. There's still a chance we can save her.
Oh, I shot her. So.
I know you did. I don't think she'll remember it.
Well, you shot the... Well, you had the mist version of the old lady, right? I thought you shot the blue mist, or did you shoot the...
Oh, I was trying to shoot the lady.
I thought you shot the blue mist.
No, I said screw it, the lady.
Well, if you shot the lady, there's now, I guess, also a crossbow bolt sticking out of the lady. Like,
Okay.
I'm sure she won't remember.
So definitely just going straight back to question,
Right.
like, what was this thing?
yeah, you, in the grand scheme of things, are not far from the survivor camp. You make your way back out of the wing through to the grand library where you'd first encountered the rattlings. As you walk through the library, a thought does occur to the group of you. You have a pretty huge repository of knowledge right here. There's a lot to go through, but should you seek answers for something, should you have a question that perhaps the survivors can't really give you any guidance on, this is well stocked, and given enough time, could lead you to not just answers to mysteries such as necessarily what the heck do I do about this, but more about the situation, names or figures you may have heard of, possibly even Briarstone or your own pasts. There is an ability and there is a system in Pathfinder that lets you, it's directly research system. It lets you spend time with some skill checks to try to learn more about a subject of your choosing. You have quite a few things that you may be able to learn a good amount in the library, should you choose to. That said, a lot of what you would learn in here may be difficult to find. The time commitment itself is somewhat objectionable given your current situation and lack of resources and time, really. But if there was something you wanted to investigate further, this is here and for the moment safe. The passage through the atrium is as you left it, save for one small change. 2 paired front doors. One of them hangs completely open.
The one where the blob came from?
The one where the blob was once trying to come in. You do not see a blob
There's no like
anywhere. There's no
trail.
there's
of
no
ooze?
sludgy trail
Thought I
coming
barricaded
through the
that door
room.
pretty good.
That is the only change that you can see. Nothing about anything. There's nothing on the floor. Nothing else looks like it's been moved. But the front door is one half wide open, revealing the wide trail to the rounded the rounded landing where carts and carriages unloaded from the boats across the small stream to the island came to transport and deliver their supplies. Much beyond that is difficult, if not impossible, to see through the yellow mist outside, save for the branches of the trees spreading throughout the island as they fade into this mist. Still, you can just walk up and close it. There's nothing there holding it.
Walk up, close it, put the barricades back, grab more.
The problem we
bubble.
have is it's an Audi. Like,
Yeah.
it's an external door. It goes that way. So, I mean, your barricade is even still there. The door was just open on the other side because you left the desk there the first time you came through. The door's just open on the other side of it.
Whoever wants to go out the door into the mist, that's their prerogative. This prevents something kicking the door in.
True. But fixing that really quickly, you find yourselves back heading towards the survivor key.
Is it like handles on the door?
Um,
Like looped handles that are going to the door where you can just.
I mean,
shove something in?
on the inside, it would be a pair of wide, like octagonal knobs. So you could theoretically tie them together with something.
Cool. I'll pull out some chain that we grabbed from the basement. Just
Wrap it around.
fasten it as good as I can.
Fair enough.
I don't know if I was a Boy Scout, but
A
there we go.
brief. You know, that could have been anything. You could still be a Boy Scout. The name's a misnomer. They take all ages.
Crafting a chain rope real quick. That's a pretty darn
You
good
have
chain.
chain. What are you crafting?
Like tying a proper
No, with
like
the rope.
knot with the chain.
Oh, the way that works.
I rolled a
mean,
19.
You have it on the back side of the door, and then the if someone tries to break it, you roll to see what the DC ends up being.
Yeah.
But that would be a moment's distraction before you arrived back at the camp, and you were looking for Winter specifically. Yes.
Yeah,
Trying to
the
find her or
ghost
something.
thing. And
It would
we
not
have
be
a cleric of
Difficult,
the ghost things.
not difficult to find through most of the day. All the survivors are back here doing what is necessary to live. At the moment, she would be helping Nasa, tend to Erwin, and would quickly excuse herself to come hear your story. Just before I assume everything of you, is there anything you are not telling Winter, or are you just free to catch her up on the adventures you've had so far?
I just catch her up.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
has no reason to
Fast
hide
forward.
anything from her.
Fair enough.
If she wants to see the ghost, I'll escort her to it.
Yeah, that's what. So, like, I'm just making sure before I assume you tell her anything. Though, like, I figured you would be forthcoming with her. I don't know of any reason you wouldn't be, but agency.
I'm trusting.
Trust. I mean, you've woken up in a very terrible situation, and she made your life kind of hard for a day. So, understandable. But she listens closely as you tell her all these things, and finally ending a brief overview of the things that happened before you found Administrator Lysandro's office. Well, by all accounts I've heard in the description you gave me, that figure is Administrator Lysandro herself. I suppose that's probably not terribly much of a surprise given the location, but it does seem like we'll be unable to turn to her for any further information about what might have happened here. I'd held out some hope that she may know something. She may still, if she's alive as you claim. But silver linings to everything. And a hero point to everyone.
Aw,
Again,
thank you.
from Kaga, who really does not want to see us all die horribly in
Oh
the
my
first
God.
book of this adventure.
I'm doing great.
Thank you.
Doing good stuff. You guys spent a couple at the beginning too. There was some things going on.
Burning through them.
So, I'm not entirely sure what to tell you, I suppose. With what you saw, Trey, it sounds like these manifestations, at least, they may be spirits or undead of some kind. It's not impossible to purge them, but it is difficult. Incorporeal beings like this, they are, well, just that. You can't simply strike them down with a sword. You could perhaps slightly better if you had some way to attune them magically. The energy of the weapon would provide better, but really what you need is evocations, force magic, or positive energy.
Pull out that little runestone we found.
She sort of looks at it. Or a runestone, perhaps. That could aid. I've applied similar objects before. Back when I was with my cloister, or back with the priory rather. We did them sometimes. It was a service we offered for travelers or for those who requested it. One of the ways we filled the coffers. I could put that on something. It would. I'm not sure what it is. If you identified it,
Did we identify it?
I'm pretty sure you did. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
you did. And it was just. a
I
lesser
know what it
potency.
is.
It's a lesser potency room.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you just determined as a lesser potency room.
Okay.
And she can do the same thing. Given a couple of minutes, you can't just like glance at it and immediately tell you what it is. Derp, Colby, taking some blesses as well as the chat team. Chat is coming together, and I'm baned also. I'm gonna stack this up as much as physically possible. I'm not a
wrecked,
I
dude.
love you,
points.
chat team. Chat team's my favorite.
But explain that to yes, the fundamental magic, something basic that enhances the weapon's ability to handle more and further magic. Even something as mundane as that would be enough to aid you with these spirits. Still raises the question, I suppose, of their purpose or why. Often, hauntings or possessions, places that I've heard tales or read stories of exorcisms that have occurred. Ghosts need not be stricken down in combat always. There's usually a root cause. There's something tying them to this world, a bond that can be severed, allowing them to flow down the river of souls and into the Grey Mother's afterlife as they were ordained to be. I have a villain point now. Maverick said I used it too, so I also go. Thank you, Maverick.
Well, if that's the case, show me how to put this on a weapon,
Of course.
and then we'll go back and
Have
maybe
you
look it up in the library first.
have you seen? Well, you've passed by the front door. I know there was one of those creatures, but it doesn't sound terribly different to things we've stricken down at the barricade before. The docks wouldn't be terribly far, and you've been outside into the courtyards at the very least. The mist itself doesn't seem to be natively dangerous. If
It looks thicker out there. And that is
I
where the
haven't-
pile of flesh came from.
haven't seen it, and I'll trust your judgments. But if there was any way, any chance that we could escape and just be rid of this place, it'd be much easier to muster our thoughts, and we'll muster equipment to stand against it afterwards. If I could reconnect with Accuser Omari back in Thrushmore, we'd have our pick of supplies. We wouldn't have to stretch one rune to try and deal with this, and one rune is going to be a stretch indeed. This will only allow one weapon to be enchanted magically, and one aid against these. Have you been to the eastern wings, down towards the patient's wards at all?
We made it to her office and we turned and ran.
Well, perhaps this avenue of exploration is wise. Regardless of Administrator Lissandro's current state, it's different. It's unlike anything that I've seen or heard of happening since the collapse. Even just the ability to study what has happened in that chamber may give us some insight into how to end all of this. Please, grant me your weapon, and I'll have it anointed.
And I'll hand the short sword over. Seems like the most versatile weapon we've got so far. So
Winter would take that, and unless there was something else that you wanted from her, quickly.
I was gonna ask her, has anyone not shown up around here? Is anyone missing from camp? We just noticed the front door was a little open. Is there anyone?
No, none have followed you that I'm aware of.
Okay.
We're still keeping our watch. Danae is still at the barricade. You passed her on your way through. I've no reason to believe anyone's disappeared.
Okay.
But if it's not as you left it, perhaps there are others. We haven't been able to see much of the asylum due to the collapse of the maintenance wing and the August wall. We may not be the only ones left out there.
True. Might have been Jenny.
Could very well have been these ratlings as well.
Yeah.
Anything's possible, I suppose. Anyway, and she will turn and go to her things to gather some supplies to inscribe this rune onto the short sword for you. While you're in the camp, you see things have not really massively changed. Everything is much as it was. The food supplies, which were meager to begin with, are still dwindling, and it won't be long before water starts to become an issue as well. And you've got a few days before things become truly pressing. But it's a constant reminder that while the front door may be difficult, and even if escape is impossible with this mist, supplies and survival itself is still going to be a challenge if we can't source more of them.
How does everyone feel?
Not the greatest.
Do you
So-
feel like we can push a little bit more for the day?
Well, it's going to take Winter a little bit of time to apply the rune, and it's barely past noon. You could take some time to touch yourselves up here, and with everything that you're going through now, honestly, Winter would advance her sex liturgies very slightly and provide a bit of additional healing as well. If you're willing to stay within the camp for an hour, you could all certainly be full health.
That
I
and
could lay
then-
some hands on some people
Yeah, you can use that time to just do the continual hands cycling.
and get my focus.
What's
Would
the strain
we
go
have
away?
any answer to the drained?
Unfortunately,
I'm looking
no. Winter, that's beyond even Winter's skills to treat at this point. You have to hope that it will fade in its own given time, that you can find some. You are in a very large medical facility. Maybe you can find something to deal with it deeper within Briarstone.
That sounds like to me. Library time.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Um,
The only other thing of note.
Sneeze time.
Excuse
Are
me.
you okay? You're getting slapped by allergies as hard
I
as
got
I am. I
allergies.
can't feel it.
Yep.
We made a bad mistake living in Florida with incredible allergies.
Bad idea.
See, at least I'm okay when I'm inside. It's going outside. I'm just at.
I'm safe
constantly.
nowhere.
There's no escape. Pollen.
You're
Don't-
safe.
don't go into a-
nowhere.
Don't go into a Publix right now. Mother's Day weekend, we are flooded with flowers.
Oh.
I had 7 pallets of flowers yesterday.
Ooh,
Flowers.
that's a lot of flowers.
Anyways, that's a tangent.
Anyway, while you were there in the hour, of course, a couple of the various survivors would come by, greet you. You get a couple of probes on how things are going. I'm not sure how much you're sharing with the rest of them, but regardless, even if you were to decide to divulge everything, either Winter or York would be by relatively shortly. Maybe they don't know the details of the horrible things that you've seen out there with morale and whatnot.
I'll kind of
the-
puff out my chest and be like, yeah, we pretty much messed them all up, so.
Yeah, for the sake of morale, probably only the good things would be shared.
You're going to keep it, and you've made a decent amount of progress. You've gotten all the way to the administrator's office. Everyone that's here would be able to put that together. That's like halfway across the entire campus. But the building's only so large. The other side of the administrator's office is the cafeteria, and that's the far corner of the facility entirely. And that's theoretically where all the food and water stores are. And if you get there, that problem disappears immediately. So there would definitely be some cheer spread throughout the camp at the possibility of actual food and not Denman's own TM cornmeal wads that are being put together by, well, basically Denman at this point. You would have... Did you have a...
Continue. I was gonna make a statement. I would like to actually try to push forward outside, just to check things out. If anything's hairy, we can leave.
I don't see why not.
And then you mean out the front door?
Out the front door.
You would be approached at some point in the hour you were here as the survivors kind of gathered in, and Tolman brought in the children for lunch by the little boy, Brenton Leekland. You probably have not, unless you chose to, spent very much time at all with Brenton and Maeve, the two uninjured kids. What?
I play with them.
You play with them?
I play with
You
them.
would, but you would definitely know of them. Like you've been around the camp enough that that's not news. He's always got this little paper shadow lantern that he just keeps with him 100% of the time. He sleeps with it. He carries it close to his chest when he goes anywhere. He sits cross-legged on the ground, literally puts it in his lap when he's eating or when he's playing, or when he's drawing. Even when he's playing with Maeve in the other room, he has it sat right next to him or right next to whatever it is they're doing, and it is always lit. He doesn't throw a fit like Maeve does if anything is against her desires, but he does very quickly get Tolman or the nearest adult's attention if the little flickering flame within ever blows out, or if the candle needs to be replaced. And as always, he's got it. It's lit, light flickering inside. Would approach whoever would be closest to the group of you. Maybe even as Winter is handing back your sword, now enhanced with this rune. Did you see my brother?
What does he look like?
He's a lot like me. But he's got brown hair, and he reached up. He's got kind of like almost like a bowl cut of like dirty blonde hair. He's a very skinny little lad. He's a little older. He puts his kind of hand up. He's a bit taller than me. He's my older brother. This would also not have been the first time that you would have heard Brenton speak of his older brother. You would know that the Shadow Lantern is him. His brother, Debus. Nobody has any idea what happened during the collapse, but unattended. Like 12-year-old in the asylum. It's probably a safe assumption.
We haven't seen him yet. We've only gone down one hall.
Did you go to our rooms? We
Not
had
yet.
rooms on the far side, where all the other patients were. It was on this floor.
We haven't made it that far, buddy.
And Winter kind of kneels down and smiles at him and puts a hand on his shoulder and just sort of nods. And you see her, again, sort of subconsciously grasp this little pendant she has. There's a lot of things that are going on out here, and there's a lot of space they have to look through. Just be patient, little Brenton. Good things come to those who wait. And she just sort of looks at Tolman, and he sort of smiles at her, and he sort of ushers the little kid away with bright promises of a good lunch. It's fine cornmeal this day. I tasted it myself. And that's would be the only moment of note. The Brenton's probably like 9-10 years old. He doesn't know the almost certain fate of his brother out there, and people going out to explore is going to make that an awkward conversation for someone at some point.
That brings a gravity to the situation.
But with that, the group of you readied your new sword, healed up, save for your drained condition, able to head back out, and you were sharing with Trey your idea as you come back in to the welcome area to admissions. You see those doors still closed where you left them. You see the passage leading to the library and up the administration wing, and of course how it continues forward towards inpatient at the other side of the asylum.
Now, before we leave, the door we come from the sanctuary, that opens into the room we're in, right?
That opens into the hall. It's where the eye was on the back side of it, opens towards the church. So you would be able to brace it from the church side. I don't know what your plan is, but like I'm just trying to. I feel like I'm poorly explaining the one of two directions it opens. It opens towards the. No, you're right. It does open in this room to push the body back. You're right. It opens into this room.
I'm just gonna take some bigger pieces of rubble and just kind of set it in front of the door. That'll probably deter anyone from the church from just wandering, because I know we have a wanderer. The one lady's a wanderer. I can't remember her name. She's a wanderer.
You have Baisley.
Baisley the wanderer.
Baisley is also very much a sleepwalker.
Yes.
And
this will probably deter any of that.
It occurs to you that knowing that people can go out into the asylum and you coming back looking relatively unharmed, Brenton might be your biggest concern for just heading out the asylum.
A few more rocks with that thought. And if anyone else goes in, they have to move the rocks, and then we're mentally prepared for that.
Size time.
Yeah. So, okay.
Rather than trying to go out there right now, let's take a quick stop at the library, see what we can figure about those spirits.
I don't feel like I'm very good at researching books, but I can at least get stuff from the top shelf.
Well, if I had a doctorate in my previous life, then I should be pretty sick at it.
I thought you had a doctorate now.
Love your
About what
confidence.
time
Well,
is
and it carries over. It doesn't expire.
About what time
doesn't,
is it
right?
after the sword getting...
It would probably be about 2 in the afternoon.
Okay. That's gives us plenty of time to do a little bit of research and then potentially go deal with the ghosts.
Fair enough. Heading into this
Study hall.
grandiose library here, you are going to have a lot at your disposal. It really is pretty big. A lot of things occur to you that you could look into, but of course the most pertinent are these strange specters. It's even very possible that you could start to put together the nature of what has even happened to the asylum as a whole, as you have a little bit more to key off and go off of. But right now you're researching, you just want to research the specters or ghosts or exorcisms.
It's the most direct thing preventing us from a stable food supply. So
Now, given the topic is wide as it is, still only going to have so much that you can go after. If you're going to spend some time in the library, we're going to measure it as in hours. Every hour you spend in the library, you'll get an opportunity to gain a little bit more knowledge. And 2 of you can work on one thing. Beyond that, people are just sort of standing around. There's only so many books you can bring to the table and pour through. So you can sort of pair off and investigate 2 things at once, if you wish to.
I want to investigate her, like Alessandra. Like, do they keep records on like all of
Absolutely,
the
yeah.
administrators and like?
Hmm?
Yeah, I just want like 'cause she mentioned like there's an unfinished business. Like, what could be tying her to like here?
Okay.
Like,
So you're going to be
her
researching
projects.
the current administrator, LJ Alessandro, and you're going to be researching exorcisms and spirits. Who is aiding each of you?
I'm aiding no one.
I mean, you can
Oh,
just
dang.
I'm there.
I am building a fort out of books or something.
you can look up papercraft.
Now you would be able to use for that topic for the spirits. I would give you occultism, religion, probably occultism, religion, realistically. And for looking into Lysandro and her current state, I would give you occultism or society.
Who's trained in exactly 0 intelligent stats?
Now you do get a bonus just for being in the library. You have a lot of references, so it's not going to be as good as being trained, but you're going to, whether you're trained or not, everyone's going to get a +2 from the resources of Briarstone itself, which is going to make aiding a little bit easier, but it's going to make you less likely to critically fail, but it's still up to you. Probably if you have like literally a 0,
I have literally a 0.
probably just
Oh
hang
my
out.
gosh.
So if you're doing it, who are you assisting?
I will assist. I will assist Trey, I think.
Okay. So roll me your assist first. You're using occultism or religion?
I'm going to use occultism.
Okay. And you can just flat roll this because this isn't a risk of like critical failure, wrong knowledge kind of thing. It's just how much you're able to learn. I mean, you can roll it. I don't have to roll it
I
for
can
you.
roll it.
Yeah, you're not going to critically fail and like read about Scooby-Doo and think that's a real like treatise on the exorcisms that happened.
Gosh darn it.
You got to pull his mask off.
That's a 16 on the die, so that's a 22.
Solid. So you are going to gain an additional +1 in addition to library, giving you 3 total.
So that's a 16 on the die, which is going to give me a 25.
Sick. 25 is absolutely going to critically succeed. So looking through this,
You're spooky.
there would be, I guess it's not surprising. I was going to say surprising amount of overlap between like medical treatments for a lot of mental maladies and spirits and specters and exorcisms. But like in a world where that stuff actually exists, I guess that makes perfect sense.
You got ghosts in your blood. Do
ghosts.
cocaine about it.
Like hauntings are a thing that happen. Like there are literally in the other room, there are spirits, there are ghosts. They are very real. And very often there are even things like possessions that are the root cause of a lot of things that people would turn to institutions such as Briarstone for.
It's 9/10 of the law.
Yeah, like the eyeball.
It's a 10/10 of the law if you're a ghost.
Yeah, fair.
Not
But-
in the ghost court of law.
You would learn a couple of things. Incorporeal creatures, it's a mix. It's a total wash on whether it's effective to exercise the root cause, as Winter suggested, or to just try to strike them down. It is, in most cases, the very essence of a soul itself. Your normal ghost is someone's spirit, someone's soul that should be going to the River of Souls, to the Pharasma to process the afterlife, and just can't because they're so mad or they're so sad or something is so strong that even though their body has died, their soul is still tied to some event in their life. But with your research, with your critical success, that does not appear to be what's happening. The figures that you saw come out of Administrator Alessandro's mist aren't, they may be people, but these don't look to be patients or old staff or anything. What appears to be happening here is something more akin to like an outer world possession or interference. These don't seem like they're the specters of people from this plane. These seem like they're manifestations of something, possibly from a totally different plane of existence or dimension. The source or what? Well, you can hazard a decent guess given the fact that you have seen one of them before, that tattered man. The Dreamlands is a dimension that borders the material plane. Some people, the same way that some are born sorcerers with the gift of magic in their blood, almost unconsciously astrally project to this plane when they sleep. In some places, even on the world, it's more common. There's a mountain in Tianjia across the world that is so tall, it's said to pierce the veil between these realms, and you can walk to another world. That is how close the Dreamlands is. Given that you have encountered this creature in your dreams and what you read about the things here, it seems very possible that these three manifestations coming out of the Administrator are Dreamlands beings, which means there may not be a way to physically sever them. There may not be something like Winter had suggested. They may just be invaders here that need to be struck down. And the most effective way to do that is going to be positive energy and avocations of force. You don't have a lot of those. Magical weapons can help you stimmy the gap. And as you saw very briefly, given the form they have to take from this mist coming out of the Administrator, they are quite weak to fire. It is their only true direct weakness.
Okay.
So we go into the room. I'm just going to hold up the bandolier. We fill this with all the alchemist fire, and we throw it at him.
Point at the bandolier. I actually had a thought while they're researching. I would like to research as well.
Oh, are you joining the team? Okay. I'm doing research myself, so I don't screw up anybody else.
I'm doing my own research. There's medical record.
Do your own research. That's
not.
That's how you stay informed.
Yeah, it's not personal medical record, but there is medical treatises and all that kind of stuff in here. Right. I want to try to research something akin to our case of amnesia.
Okay.
I know some medicine, and I can point out some medical words because they're big and complicated. But this is just what I'm spending my time on. I got nothing to do. I'm just grabbing books.
Okie dokie. I will give you Arcana or Occultism.
Cool. Gonna take that
Just
plus.
roll D20, see what happens.
Woo! 15 total.
15 total?
If you give me the +2 for the library existing, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll give you the 15 +2 for the library.
Can the rattling assist him?
J2Dale's nowhere to be seen. You don't know where she's gone, but the last time she showed up, you murdered 2 of her friends. So, that's
hurtful.
But she was so chill about
She's
it.
nonplussed about it.
She was pretty cool about it. I mean, maybe she went out the front door. I don't know. She's if she's here, she does not make an appearance. You would find that there's a lot of various kinds of medical amnesia that can happen. Regular success, you would learn that traditionally this isn't how medical amnesia works. There is not I don't know who I am, I don't know where I am, I only know that I must kill. That's not a thing that happens due to a physiological issue. The closest people get is honestly, I think it'll be a great relation to this. What happened to me personally when I got in a car accident. There will be like spaces. There will be spaces of days, weeks, in severe cases, sometimes months, that are functionally just gone. But it's not retroactive all the way back to the beginning of time. You don't not know your name. You don't not know who you are. That is not a naturally occurring condition. Easy. Give me your
Yeah.
check.
Sorry to make you wait.
It's fine. I was researching. 13 plus 4 plus 2.
19?
Yeah, 19.
Your investigation of Administrator Lissandro kind of goes hand in hand with investigating the history of Briarstone Asylum itself. Because it's not like she has a personal autobiography on the shelves or anything in here. While you would quickly find that she has overseen the facility for the better part of 2 decades and worked here as a doctor significantly longer before that. Beyond that, you're just sort of looking into Briarstone Asylum itself, trying to find any connections you might be able to find to, anywhere you could look for information on any administrators, past or present. You end up learning that the asylum itself is nearly 200 years old and was originally founded by the Count of Versailles County at the time, Count Hasserton Lowes I, in a shared effort with a college up in Rosenport called the Asinkamakti School of Sciences. They had the knowledge, they had the necessity for a facility of this scope and scale, and they had the education necessary to run it. Count Hasserton Lowes had the money. And by their powers combined, one of the greatest mental medical facilities in all of the Inner Sea region was born. You end up trying to look through various administrators throughout the history of the 200-year degree of the asylum. It looks like it's gone through. I mean, it's only been less than 200 years, so like a handful. It's less than 10. And further information on what basically any of them did or who they were before they became footnotes in the history of this facility, you're not able to easily source.
Okay.
But that is an hour spent in the library. It's about 3 in the afternoon, and Trey and Cammy have a pretty decent wealth of information about whatever you faced in the administrator's office.
Good job, guys.
I think Cammy slams down a book onto the table and is kind of squinting her eyes, just like, I thought I'd be a faster reader than that. I don't know how you guys are reading that so fast.
Skipping words. You just skip until you get to something that sounds important, and then you backtrack.
They all kind of run together a little bit.
With your critical success, you also would have found one more thing tucked away in one of the books. Oh, which is
Another class of alchemist fire.
Yeah.
Just
A
in the
bomb.
pages.
Exactly.
Book was very wide. Now, it would have been something that was stuck in almost like a placekeeper within the book. A small wicker little circle with a lattice of threads running across the center of it. Something akin to a dream catcher, almost. Multicolored, very bright, with a single two-threaded tassel hanging down below it. The entire thing is only a couple of inches long. Cammy, having been curious about this as you were investigating, would have determined it was magical. I would have determined it is a weapon talisman.
Ooh.
It is a weapon talisman very similar to a potency crystal, but instead of giving your weapon the +1 striking properties, it gives your weapon the +1 ghost touch property for 1 round. That property will allow you to do full damage to incorporeal creatures. Magical weapons are still going to be blunted because the blade is still just passing right through them. It's not affecting them directly. It's just the magic allows you to tear them a little bit. Ghost touch is going to let you hit them like they were physical. For 1 round on 1 weapon.
Fix it on my dagger.
Dagger's not a bad idea.
I just put it on my dagger.
I will throw you as part of that critical success. Also, I think you already know this personally, but it merits repeating. Incorporeal creatures are immune to precision damage. They don't have any anatomy or anything to sneak attack.
You know what? You know what's cool? There's a rogue feat that just ignores that.
Is there really?
There is a. I think it's actually for this particular thing. You can turn your precision damage into the same type of damage as the attack.
Huh.
Yeah,
That's actually
because
awesome.
you just brute force it.
They just hit him harder. Thug it up.
changes
Or
all-
ruffian now. It was thug in first edition.
It changes all sneak attack dice to your weapon's damage.
That's actually super
It's
cool.
super- it's super-
I don't care if you have a weak point. I'm just gonna hit you really hard.
Sorry to derail that one. I was like, that's really like.
No, that's it. I didn't know that. That's neat. Yeah.
Or we just put it on something over here too. I don't really know.
I know what you guys are thinking. You can
I
kind of like dance
I
around
vote-
it or whatever.
Yeah, go for it. I didn't think ghosts were real. But
Until
here
it
we are.
started touching
Still,
me.
I mean, I guess they're more of nightmares than ghosts, but
So we'll affix that to my maul.
Okay.
And
Oh, you got big. You got okay. So you got the magic short sword, and you got like one round
I'll
of thick
give
bonkers
you
just
the
slamming
short
on him.
sword.
okay, I have the magic sword.
Fair enough.
I am
Now again,
pretty
I'm pretty sure I said just to restate the talisman triggers for one round.
Yes.
Okay.
I intend to kill one of them in one round.
That's fair. You're gonna blow up one of them, and you're like, that's my job done. I took down one. On average, that means our party will kill 4 of them, and there's only 3.
Exactly.
That's how the math works out. I'm pretty sure.
Well, I've learned that our case of amnesia is wacko weird. So,
Why you don't say?
it doesn't
This
normally
entire
happen.
thing's pretty messed up.
Yeah, I'm.
is whack a weird like Latin or something? Is that the?
It says it right here in this book.
Oh,
You
It's
see,
the medical term. Whack a weird amnesia.
You see, right? It's scribbled. I scribbled in the. I have like footnotes in the book I was researching through of me just writing stuff like this doesn't make sense. I don't understand this. The dumb word. Wacko weird. I got
doesn't
really
make
bored reading this book.
Fair enough.
I don't like this at all. I mean, I don't think any of us like this at all, but do you want to try to go murder nightmare ghosts or
Yeah,
Trey's on board?
I'm ready for it.
He's excited to go start
Should we
doing
get some more fire? Because I don't know if I think I have 1 fire left.
I mean, I have 2 because
I was never entrusted with that.
we gave you 1.
Oh, I did get one. I
We
thought it was
had
forbidden.
6.
I thought it was
I had
grounded.
2 and I
Well,
just
you
used
had
1.
Yep. Yep.
One?
They wanted to give you 2. Trey wanted to
Oh,
give
that's
you 2.
it. I got one.
Here, just give them all to me.
I just got it.
Here, Tammy, give it to me.
No, you can have it.
And then the intended plan is we don't get firebombed by them.
Give me your fire bombs.
I don't have it anymore. I used both. I'm gonna roll for that.
I'm gonna roll.
Trying to defeat
Roll
me.
this.
I'm gonna back him up. I mean, now he used both. I saw it.
Okay, it's a 10 plus. I'm gonna use a hero.
Gets a 1.
Oh, it's a
No,
5.
no, no.
Hey.
Okay, 5 plus 8 is 13.
What's your perception DC?
16.
You would
Okay.
have beat both
I
of us
would've
with the
won.
first.
Oh my gosh.
I got greedy and I lost it. Okay, I give it to you.
You flew too close to the sun. It happens to the best of us.
Right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4.
I have 2.
You have 2, so 1, 2, 3,
4, 5.
4, 5.
But this just means we can do nothing in the fight.
You do have magic. You literally pick up rocks and sling them
Yeah.
faster than I can blink.
They're normal rocks, though.
No.
You don't have anything else.
You wouldn't.
He's right, actually. Talking about
Yeah, it does say no specific traits or magic
Yeah.
properties of the
It,
hurled
it,
item.
it
Yeah, it's
absolutely-
just the
they're-
property or whatever
Yeah,
you're
they're
throwing.
inherently non-magical wrecks.
You don't have any other cantrips.
That's
I
the
don't-
damage.
All my cantrips are for good. I don't.
Here.
I'm a pure regular guy.
I can make magic mud.
Anyways,
That should be fine.
I just need you to keep me alive.
I also don't have. I can't do any of.
I mean, maybe we should sleep.
Yeah, because I haven't slept in a long time.
I feel like there's no color in my face this entire time. Like I'm breathing heavy.
The woes of low-level casters. It's 10 in the morning.
It's
I need
3
to
in
go
the
to sleep.
afternoon.
But
and I
that's
lost
the
my
woe.
fire potions.
Let's well, she's not going anywhere. Actually, now that I think about it, she's pretty much immobile. Cammy made sure that when she shot her.
Yeah,
Let's
dude.
find Brenton's brother instead.
We go outside, see what's happening out there, and then report back to Winter of the impossibly to describe tragedy of the scene of us probably not being able to get off the island.
At least take a look.
I mean, what else? What's worse that can happen?
Not
What's
getting
the
off the
worst
island.
that
You
can
just said it, dude.
Is there a way to the cafeteria from around the administrators instead of like if we went the long
So
way?
if you pull us up the asylum map real quick, like that you have, there are a couple ways. I mean, normally it's a pretty interconnected facility. You would know that you could go either. Should be able to go through administration. If you went out again, this is all assuming that this has collapsed. There's been quite a few edits that this map made for things that aren't passable anymore. The other side of Administrator Lissandro's office leads to a hall on the administration wing's kind of L-shaped, and that pretty much connects straight through to the top of Inpatient right outside the cafeteria.
Okay. So we could go the long way through Inpatient to get
You
to the
could go
cafeteria
through
as well.
Inpatient, or you can go through Lissandro's office.
Yeah,
Either
one's-
way, it's kind of a big square around that central garden.
Well, I mean, we want to go to Inpatient to look for
Brendan's
Devin.
brother.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and one is a mystery, and the other one's a dangerous ghost.
I think it's all dangerous,
But maybe they're corporeal danger.
they're probably things that have been
That
Just
would
like
be
get hit with a rock.
significantly better for us.
maybe the people who've been bludgeoning other people.
Well, bludgeoning is corporeal.
That's
is very.
super corporeal.
Well-
I can deal with corporeal.
Let's look outside
Okay.
because that's literally right here.
Okay.
Make sure the mouth eyeball monster is still outside and not inside, because if it's inside, that's a problem for current us. No objections, because I'm going. I go.
Okay.
I'm going.
He goes outside.
I unchain the door. I move some stuff out of the way so these two can get through easily.
We're going. We also are.
Yes.
Okay. It's yellow mist could be as bad as the red mist.
I'll
and
go
the
first.
Blue mist.
Probably
purple
trade
mist.
weapon
The purple
back
mist.
if
All the
we're not
other
fighting
mists were
together.
bad.
Yeah, I get it back.
We're batting over 0 on mists not
Yeah.
being awful so far.
Trey, do you
Give
want to go
me
first, or do you want me to go first?
Let's figure out what's out there.
Okay.
One
And I'll just go
Should we
first.
tie a
moment.
string? Should we tie a rope to you?
Step outside, evaporate.
Yeah, wait. What if I
Rock falls.
we tie a rope
Rock
to you?
falls.
Just out of the sky, a plane crashes into the island.
A Boeing 747 hits specifically
hold
our
onto
party.
it.
I have these chains. Do we have a rope?
Yeah,
There's
I'm
got to
pretty
be
sure.
rope around here somewhere.
As you ready to step out the front door, you have the front door open as you're going out. Sounds like they are stopping you to try to tie you off here. You can see that for the moment, the rain has mostly abated. There's no scalding, boiling rain coming through. There's no cracks of rolling thunder. It's just this churning mist visible down the drive.
Perfectly safe.
Churning mist. Perfectly.
Now, as you look out into it, what are the four of you doing as you're ready to go out the door, exploration-wise?
Holding hands.
Buddies.
I'll absolutely let you just like buddy system be your exploration activity. So like you stay together, and if anything tries to grab one of you, you're both there.
I'm only partially kidding. Like, I
No, I'm like
think
that's no.
how we
I'm,
should do
I'm
it.
completely serious. Like that's an
Yeah.
absolutely valid exploration activity right now.
Buddy system.
Mhm. We all held hands in a line.
Yeah.
Hold hands. Get your exit partner.
Everyone's ready. Are you tying anything off, or are you all kind of just going out in the human chain approach?
I mean, I'm perfect. I feel perfectly safe.
What's the worst that could happen?
Perfect. You walk in the front then, man. Like,
You know, chain Cammy and Easy together, rope them together, and then when one of them tries to run away, drags the other one with them. Easy's prone to running.
Okay.
he's very prone to running.
I'm feeling a little bit of prejudice right now.
And I have been prone to running in the wrong direction. So
We're both prone to saving you all's lives.
Yeah.
you guys do a wonderful job at it, and I'm very appreciative of it. Thank you. Keep up the hard work.
We're trying.
As you step out in the mist here, the tile beneath your feet giving way to the gravel of the drive as you head down the steps, you feel exposed. You've been in the courtyard before, but the courtyard was small. You could see walls in every direction. Here, you have the asylum behind you, this huge facade and the large looming windows of this front entry area where the admissions desk is. And even above that, you can see the damage to the walls. You can see the rubble and the collapsed bits of spires, beams, and pillars jutting up like teeth against the sky. Away from that, though, is just fog. The drive gives way to a wider dirt path, and some grass spread beyond that, punctuated with small trees, shrubs, and larger spreads like oaks beyond. They stretch in this mist in the distance like twisted fingers just kind of sticking up, odd shapes all around you. And some of them, you swear, move. Not just blowing in the wind, not just in a normal way, but flitting between these bits of shadows. As the fog moves, swirling, thickening, thinning in different patches. You see things flitting just out of sight.
I don't think we're going that way. Not yet, at least.
I'm okay with turning back. Is that what you're saying?
They're all in favor.
Yeah,
I mean, we run by majority rules, so
I'm not a fan of fighting things in the fog I can't see.
Now the fog,
Corporeal.
you are approaching the fog.
Corporeal.
It's not like there was a wall of fog that you'll walk into and all your vision is gone. The fog is, as far as you can tell, not any thicker further out than it is here. It's just, that's the point where your vision starts to fade out from what is there.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going to happen if we start walking.
If you were to go much further than this, even the face of the asylum behind you would start to fade. And you would have just the trail beneath your feet.
that's like. Okay.
This is why we wanted to fight the corporeal one.
Oh.
See things.
Feel things.
Yeah, it's like when you go in the water and you can't see the beach anymore, and then you're like, okay, I don't know where I am.
I
get
don't
lost.
know where I am actually. Briarstone Asylum in Ustalov.
Well,
Well,
200
it
years
sounds like
ago. 200 years ago.
Sounds like you
Recount
know.
the history.
Deja vu. I guess we go back inside. That's fine.
As
We can
you turn to head back inside, Trey, what is your reflex DC?
Pretty good. 16.
16? Okay. You would stumble a bit as you turn around. Not tripping or falling down, but like you caught on a root or something. But you look down and you definitely don't see anything there.
Run.
Just going to continue back inside.
Yeah.
You all kind of see him stumble a bit and see one of these shapes in the distance becoming a little firmer, a little closer. And that's, you were already heading inside, the inspiration to hurry that up, scoot in, and shut the door.
I don't want to stick around to look for the thing that might have
All
tripped
right,
me.
close the door, barricade it, lock it back tight.
You replace your barricades and return once more to the admissions. Ready to go.
Outside is no.
No.
No,
See-
guys, seriously.
See, now that we have this information, we can tell Winter that outside is no.
Could have just told her no in the first place.
Already
That would be
told her.
lying.
Not especially, okay? Because we already saw one monster try and come inside.
But we've also seen those same monsters already inside.
Well, maybe that is where they came from.
So they came in
I
from
was
the
just in a closet.
They came, no, they live outside. They came inside. And another one was coming in. Maybe
How
that's
did-
his brother. You
how
ever think
did-
about that? His brother?
How did it get inside on that? Never mind.
There's lots of doors. There's doors. There's windows.
Half
and
the
they're
asylum
blocked.
is blocked off
And
by
their
rubble.
brother-
Blind.
Ugh.
And the door was unlocked.
These guys are being very paranoid.
As we rightfully
Yeah.
should be.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I love the difference between the stress levels.
The only one who's not chilling at 6 stress here. Like, you guys gotta calm down. It ain't that big of a deal.
We're overreacting.
So from here, where are you heading? Are we heading back to the
I wanna
administrator's
fight the
office or
spooky
inpatient?
ghosts.
He wants to fight the spooky ghost.
We have the tools.
I'm cool with resting. Taking the rest of the day.
We could take a
Personally,
corporeal day. And then
Oh,
have-
we could rest. Like I'm
We
not
could-
opposed to resting.
push forward to see if we can't figure out if that mouth eyeball monster. Actually, maybe we should look for the mouth eyeball monster.
There's a mouth eyeball monster? I thought the eyeball monster was the other one.
The one that came in from outside.
It didn't.
Oh,
come
the
in.
blob.
Yeah, well, the door was open.
But the barricade wasn't moved.
Yeah, but the door was open.
I mean, you can get in and out without moving the barricade. The barricade is like
It's a table.
so
Yeah,
you
and it's a
can
pretty-
climb over
And
it.
some rocks.
More of an idea
You
than
mean
anything
climb
else.
over it.
And it's a bit of an amorphous blob.
just-
I could probably.
They're just to be safe. I don't want that sneaking up on us. I don't know how good at sneaking they are. But
Rest or check out this other hallway.
let's just check the hallway, then we can rest.
A nap is in order.
And Cammy's getting tired, and she gets grumpy with her nap time.
I get really. Hey.
You
Watch it, man.
you go to look down the eastern side of the admissions wing here just to see what there may be. You've been through a bit of this. You've checked these chambers to the north, and quickly poking your head back inside doesn't reveal anything different than what you'd left. On the far side of this, where it looks like on your map it should just connect directly through to a hallway that leads into Impatient, yet more of the building has collapsed. A pretty massive pile of rubble cutting off the entirety of what was once a whole wing at the far end of at the far end of admissions. There is a pair of doors on the north side here, one of which should lead to the pass-through hallway, and the other one which should lead to the gardens that are just right behind this welcoming area, as well as the double doors on the southern end. The map says should lead to a meeting room, place where visitors could have met with longer-term patients in a more comfortable setting. But you don't see. None of the doors are open, other than the door to the top right of the small hallway, which looks like it has been absolutely destroyed. But that looks like it's a bit older than just now. It doesn't look like a blob smashed through it. It looks like the wall it's affixed to has been utterly and completely demolished. The frame of the door has sagged down, buckled inward, and the door itself has just fallen free from its hinges and shattered on the floor.
For the sake of being thorough, look through the door.
Looking through, you see a narrow hallway beyond. Something akin to what you found up in admissions leading towards the meeting chamber up there, where one side of the hall is just debris and rubble. On the other side, a wall that leads down to an angle further into the inpatient wing. It's quite narrow with the rubble choking it off. You'd have to pass through single file.
I think it's safe to say if it went this way, it's not going to be coming back for us right now.
All right, then. Cool.
Check out the meeting room.
The meeting room to the south?
You said it was to the south?
Yeah, it's the two double doors that are just right below you there.
And we can.
Just peek inside.
Just peek
Yeah.
inside.
Give a little look.
Opening the two doors in there, you see an immediate and massive change in the decor. This building, first of all, is out on the fringes of Briarstone enough that it appears to have completely escaped any architectural damage at all. It was a bit of an extension onto the ground floor of the building. It didn't have anything stacked above it. It had a shingled roof you could have seen from outside. A room looks like it was plucked from the halls of a warm country estate. Wood paneling on the floor, and a very friendly, inviting atmosphere. As again, this was a meeting room for visitors coming to see patients. It looks like a nice lodge in the woods, down to the fine, if somewhat muted, wallpapering across all of the walls here. It literally does not feel like the same building as everything else that you've seen throughout Briarstone Asylum. There was a hearth standing against the wall, wide and ready for a fire. A mansion-shaped cage on a table at the far end of the room, filled with like taxidermic, colorful birds just kind of perched around on various things. Large windows that look like they might once have looked out over some colorful flower beds, but now show again only the yellow mist outside. The one thing out of place that you would immediately notice in the doorway is that mounted above the hearth is a huge head of a trophy elk with what appears to be a beaten corpse.
The trophy elf.
Trophy elf. Yeah.
Gonna say,
Racism strong.
It
and
got really
up here.
dark really fast.
Trophy elk with a battered corpse impaled up upon its horns. Or antlers, I guess is what they're called on an elk. Blood having run down and dried thick and dark on the other side of these antlers and matted into the side of the trophy itself.
I don't like that.
Maybe we should take it down.
Is here, I suppose, at this rather unpleasant view, we should probably take our break. We had a whole lot of like, let's that way, this way, that way, and I'm waiting to put a break thing, and now we committed to a direction.
Oh.
At least looking in a direction. And we found something. Something definitely wrong. We're going to stand up, grab some snacks, grab some drinks. Our break time is usually about 10 minutes in the middle of the stream. You'll see a timer up in the corner to when we're going to return, so feel free to rest and walk around a little bit. We are at some point they're going to play some ads. Twitch is going to play them automatically if we don't play them, so we'd rather them happen when there's not any content. Appreciate you putting up with them. Don't go too far, everybody. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. As we left off, we were exploring a bit more of the asylum to ensure that nothing had come in the front door and decided to do spooky stuff to us. We poked our heads into the visitors' room next to the admissions and had seen a very warm and homely sight, save for the bloody corpse impaled on a trophy elk above the hearth. Not an elf, definitely an elk. The elf would both be weird and very difficult to impale somebody on, so it doesn't work on both sides,
Be a
really.
tiefling elf.
Tiefling
Elf.
And there's some big old horns to
He's
impale
a-
somebody on a tiefling head.
He's the giant barbarian tiefling elf.
Stay raging post-mortem.
Yes.
If you have the undead template.
The giant barbarian ghoul tiefling elf.
Hey, ghoul is an archetype, so yeah.
That's true. That's true. Actually, that is true. That is the thing you can do now. Dark Archives is giving us some magical tools. Anyway, you would come into the room here, I believe, to please remove the corpse from the elk because it's
No.
morbid. What?
I'm not. We don't have the time or energy to deal with this. That's for
I
later.
thought Easy was going in at least.
I would like. I just
Yeah,
don't.
Easy stepping in.
It's not very welcoming for a welcome room to have this.
Does it have to be welcoming?
Well, I wanted to invite some of the people because we don't have nice furniture anywhere in this place.
We could take some of this nice furniture.
Well, here's a question for you. How to get up there?
How high up is it?
Probably.
I mean, it's just above the hearth, so it's at like shoulder height for people that aren't cami. It's not like super high
Oh,
up.
it's like chest height.
Yeah, this is like a regular room. It's not huge. This is probably one of the ceiling wise one of the smaller rooms you've been through because it's really meant to be warm and cozy. So it's just easy level.
I'm seeking.
I'm just gonna take
Okay,
it.
all right.
let's establish.
You're keeping an eye out. MD is a little suspicious. You search it. Roll a perception check.
24.
24. You notice two things as he expresses interest in moving over towards this body here. The first that you see is that there is a small flask, just sort of dangling from the figure's belt on the back side, the side that's against the hearth. It looks, you recognize this. You've seen them before. It looks exactly identical to the elixirs, the healing elixirs that you had found in the supply closets. Clearly one that they had taken from the asylum itself. The second you see is a small metal glint underneath in the hearth itself, where it looks like something has fallen and tumbled down into the cold coals and ash at the bottom of the fire pit.
Morbid curiosity. I want to reach their pit.
He sees head into the thing. You reach into the fire pit, and you find that the metal is the edge of a blade. You pull it free, and it looks, obviously it's a bit dusty and dirty from the ash it's been dropped into, but it looks to be a very finely made dagger. The blade looks a little lighter than standard steel. It's alloyed or made with something a little bit different. Are you trained in crafting?
Yes.
Then it would be common enough that you could look at it and tell that this is alloyed with alchemical silver. Beyond that, the handle is pretty intricately wrapped, and the pommel is very flat, inscribed with a strange spiraling sigil in its bottom. It looks like something that you would have found on the body where you found the short sword, one of Winter's old traveling companions. The sigil itself is far more intricate and complex than a symbol of Pharasma, but it even appears to follow that same design a little bit.
Pretty dagger.
The body, easy as you go to move it, is dressed much akin to some of the people you see, the Orman that you found up in the laundry area. Simple smock like you awoke in, with some yellow paint across it. The designs are very different on this one. It's not an upright tower with an orb on top of it. The design is more a pair of strange offset wavy lines and then just like a flat smear below that. You're not really sure what exactly it's meant to represent, but the woman has a couple of streaks of yellow paint starting right beneath her eyes and kind of widening out around her jawline as well.
Okay.
Is it yellow paint?
Yes, all the paint's yellow. And then you reach up and kind of lift her up off the antlers. Trey and Kimmy, what are you doing?
Just looking around. Kind
Looking
of
for clues.
looking out in the hall, just like, we're in a room with one exit.
There is a second door.
I feel
Around
like that's not an exit.
around to the side. It definitely leads outside. You can see that there is a door to the left, a small wooden door that again looks very different from the rest of the ones in the asylum. Looks like one that would just be an interior door in a nice manor home.
The interior deer's up over.
Yeah, there's a dude on it. But you can see as you're just kind of peeking, you're sort of looking around. Kimmy, where? Abouts?
I'm looking for clues. I'm looking for anything out of place. But I would also like to
Under
look
all the furniture.
under all the furniture, like any good escape room. But is that a vent or like a filing cabinet in the far bottom right corner?
That's the cage.
That is the
It's yeah, the
cage.
bird cage. That's it's large enough to be represented on the map. It's carved like it has a big, almost looks like the general shape of the White House. Like it's got a big central kind of cylindrical hall and then two square wings leading off the side of it. It's even got a couple of tiny little wire mesh turrets that aren't really a part of the cage. The birds can go in. They're just there for aesthetic. It looks like a fancy castle mansion on a hill. And all the birds inside are like very clearly stuffed taxidermies. And you're going over and looking at that.
Yes.
As you're all doing this, Chad has pointed out, it's really funny. Like the most feared word a GM could possibly say is "as." You guys are doing this, okay? As you do that, stuff happens. No, but stuff does happen though. The girl's pretty impaled on the antlers. It takes a little finagling to get her off, and the elk head sort of rustles against its mount on the wall. As you get a little closer to the cage here, whether you activate something or just come within range, the sounds start to come out from the bird cage. It is just a pleasant chirping, a magical effect that just kind of emanates out through the room, making it sound just a little bit more homely, just a little bit more real and comforting. It's a mixed tweeting of what sound like a couple of different species represented by the various taxidermies in there. They're not moving at all. There's no like clockwork or animatronic to this. Just the magical sound coming out, just wafting through the space.
Is that coming from the bird cage?
I think so.
We should bring it back.
Oh, the kids will love it.
Yeah, the kids will love it.
Cammy, make me a will save.
Oh, wait.
I
No.
don't think the kids will love it.
That's gonna be a 9 on the die. 17.
17. Okay. So, as you
Ironclad will.
are coming over towards this thing, and you're pretty small. It's up on a little table. You're leaning up, trying to kind of look at it. It's a nice sound. You lean up, and you feel yourself go up a little bit more than you expect. You almost, for a moment, feel a little bit weightless. Everybody else might be a will save. But it's a little weird, and you feel that mentally and kind of
19.
know to stop.
No.
No.
Thanks, Kaga. 6 plus 7. 13.
13,
17.
17, 16,
19.
19. All of you feel a sort of similar effect. You feel lighter. You feel yourself, you literally see yourself rise up a little bit, like your feet are just barely still on the ground. EZ, as you're working with this body, you're trying to get it off. You
Feels lighter.
get it free, and it just keeps going up. Yeah, the rest of you see EZ's hands on this as his body just kind of pivots off the ground. His body's floating, levitating up in the air. Him holding onto the corpse being the only thing that's
Just gonna walk
he's sort of
over
pivoting.
and grab him just by like his ankle and walk him away from the antlers.
I see how it happened now.
It's the birds.
We're leaving the room.
Oh, you can fly?
No, the birds want to make you fly.
Everybody
Right.
make me another will save.
I'm
I want to jump
walking my
into the
bullet
air.
out of the room.
You're walking out. You're near the door. You got a little bit of a distance to cover with pulling easy behind you.
22.
You're out. Trey walks. He's done this crap.
Hear me out.
Oh,
I
you are?
want to fly.
Okay, it's a will save. You can just let it happen.
Yeah, no, I'm like jumping into the air. I'm like,
It's just like you can not make a reflex save and just do
yeah,
this.
I'm
and
like,
just take
yes,
a fireball.
yes,
like,
yes.
okay,
Dirty 20.
dirty 20.
Wait, no, do I? Okay, I thought Trey was saving my life.
Trey's pulling you out.
Okay, 14 plus 8.
And yeah, as he kind of grabs onto you, you feel this. You kind of push back against this. You get your foot down, your feet down on the ground. The corpse just tumbles onto the floor. Cammy over by the cage is very excited about this, and you hop up, and you just start floating.
Yes.
You just sort of
Or do a little
gently
flip.
twisting
little
in
roll.
the air, just raising up towards the ceiling.
I grab her. Reach up, grab her like a
Try me,
balloon.
dude. No.
Grab her by the coat that's just hanging down.
Okay.
And just pull. Bring her
Trey and Easy have definitely left. You
Oh,
grab onto
nice.
her and start to pull her down as you go to move. Make me another will save.
Yes. Join me.
No. Just let it happen.
Just let it happen. I
Is this
got
a
a 9 total.
9
This
total.
is an auditory effect.
Yes.
I'm gonna counter perform that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna make the sound that's opposite of what a bird chirp sounds. It's like an inward cheek, but
That's a slurp.
I'm slurping. Okay.
Yeah, like
I know what.
yeah, melodic slurp. Melodic slurp.
Beautiful melodic
Like a
slurping.
Spoon and jello.
Comes from the doorway. Make me your performance.
No.
Okay. It's a 4 plus 8, so 12.
Everyone gains 1 strength.
It's a weird sound. You're not sure what's going on. But as you go to pull Cammy away, you feel each step a little bit less in contact with the ground before you also feel yourself totally leaving.
I'm pulling him in.
Cammy's pulling you. She's having a great time. This is fun. She's up basically on the ceiling now.
Yes.
And you are floating up as she just kind of pulls. I mean, it's harmless. It's not hurting you at all. You just
I'm gonna run
floating.
laps on the
I'm
ceiling.
going to
just-
point towards the antlers.
Yeah, I'm gonna do counter performance plan B, which is I'm gonna throw a chair at the birdcage. Is a chair one bulk?
Yes, you can throw the chair. Point of order: the body has clearly been beaten pretty soundly. It's very likely it was already dead before it was put up on the elk antlers. It doesn't look like they fell on the antlers and got impaled and died.
That's still a danger.
But there are some spikes. They're over there. They're not over there. Can you tell a projectile?
Yeah.
Okay, you can't miss the mansion-sized birdcage, so just roll me damage.
Doing that, I'm just taking Cammy and trying to sling her.
Okay, it's a 3 plus 4. It's 7.
All right, 7 points of damage. You throw this chair into the cage, and it's a pretty delicate construction. Flinging it with your magic, the chair crashes through the wire of the bird cage, breaking several of the bars and rails and slamming it back in the wall. The chirping stops instantly, and Cammy and MD just flop to the ground. Falling from the ceiling, you each take 5 points of bludgeoning damage as MD just kind of lands awkwardly, and you were getting shoved up the room, so you just kind of hit it down a little. You played shuffleboard with Cammy's face.
Right, yeah. Oh my gosh.
That was a good chair too. I'm pretty.
The chair's fine. The cage is not.
Dude, why would you do that? That was so sick.
Now that we're done playing around in the floating room, we go.
I don't think we can call it the floating room.
Not anymore.
Who's the bird?
Thankfully,
5 points of lethal damage is a significant hit. That's very painful.
Well, you could have been impaled.
I could.
Could have been. It could have
I
been
could have
worse.
had a
This
grand
is my
old time.
favorite haunt in the entire mansion because this is the only reaction I've ever gotten to it. Is like, oh, neat, because it's so non-threatening. It's just so.
It's sick, dude. Why?
Literally, all it does is just make you float around. It's such a non-threatening haunt. I love it.
We walk the chocolate factory, the bubble room.
You still busy lifting drinks.
Oh yeah.
At least there's no giant industrial fan on
Yeah,
the ceiling.
there's just
so-
antlers. Just stay away from the antlers and you're
You
safe.
got one object to not fall on, and you're pretty good to go otherwise. But the group of you back at the door,
Solved your birdcage.
if there's anything in the room,
I grabbed the potion off the body.
you got that. You've got the dagger. That's all that you really saw value in here. To the administrator's office, or
I believe there was a request to rest.
oh, it's the rest, right?
Bring this dagger to Winter.
Taking those, you head once more. Having spent a sizable amount of the day adventuring and being low on resources, it's getting too late in the afternoon. You head back to the chapel and just prepare yourselves. You need food, you need rest, and you can't spend your entire day pouring through the unimaginable horrors of Briarstone Asylum. Sometimes you gotta take a nice break. Bringing the dagger over to Winter, she would recognize it. That knife was from one of her companions. It was a boot knife that he kept, just in case. The worst is what he always said. Whenever anyone asked about it, he just said, in case. 2 words, no further elaboration. She would point out that the sigil inscribed into its pommel is another lesser potency rune. It is a +1 silver dagger.
Ooh. Oh, with that information, you mind if I keep it?
Of course.
I'm going to return her dagger to her. You can have this back. It served me well. It's clean.
And it sounds like what you need. Anything that we could provide to increase your chances of being able to bring us some supplies, or Grey Mother willing, freedom, whatever has happened here. Please.
Oh, outside's a no-go, by the way.
I had feared as much, but I had some hope. We'll have to find a solution eventually, of course. Even with the supplies in the kitchens, we can't survive here forever. But I suppose that'll reveal itself in time, I hope. If not, we may simply have to try our best. It's better some of us to survive a push to the docks than all of us to wither away here. For mercy is no mercy at all, but torment disguised.
Well, I think that is a problem for later, and we shouldn't dwell on it right now. For now, there is hope somewhere. I'm going to go lay down.
Yeah, for now, you guys get dinner, you rest, and you The following morning, awake and prepare yourselves to head back to Lysandra's office and see what you can do.
I'm still drained.
You, after a night's rest, are not still drained. No. Drained does normally diminish automatically when you rest overnight. Unfortunately, this condition that has been inflicted to you is not the super drained that comes up occasionally in super high-level monsters. It is just regular drained. You just need a good night's sleep and you're good to go.
I feel that way.
Between what powers you had left, the prayers at Compline that Winter would bring, and her wave of magic, all of you, of course, be restored to full health once more. The following morning, after breakfast, readiment, and preparations, by the time that Terse had rolled around, there was little left to do other than head back out into the asylum. Are there any preparations you have before you depart? Anything you need?
Let's see. Point of order. I think we should prioritize how we attack these things. Should we focus on one at a time, or should we separate our actions?
Use the bombs first.
I'm going to use the bombs, all right. That was the plan.
Try and spread out the damage as much as we can. They don't like it. And then pull out my big stick. Use that knife. Cast your spells. We win. Easy.
So,
What? You called?
Yes. Use your spell.
Oh, okay.
other point of order. You are currently wielding the +1 short sword and the +1 silver dagger.
He has +1 short sword.
He gave it to you.
I gave it back.
Give it back.
Okay.
If we're going to fight the spooky ghosts, then it will be going back to you again because I have them all with the
The
charm on it.
talisman.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're a real rogue now. You have a short sword and a dagger. This is it. This is the rogue dream. This is the thing that you do.
How am I supposed to hold both these and use the fire bombs?
I can use them. I
Oh.
can use them.
Absolutely not.
Well, then here.
Yeah, too many firebombs.
Too many fireballs, don't you?
Two little
I haven't
hands.
watched
Isn't that interesting?
Okay. You don't get fire bombs. Last time you threw a firebomb, it hit me.
Okay, and the last time I threw a firebomb, I hit Trey.
I've never done that.
You have a crossbow. You do a good job with that.
Crossbow doesn't work on incorporeal.
Yeah, it's incorporeal.
Okay, at least
I
Cammy
don't
should
want
get
to
one.
eat more fire.
Cammy should get one.
Cammy gets one.
Cammy gets one.
I
At
see.
least
Yeah,
one.
I cede my time to Cammy.
yeah, dude.
I just take one out and just kind of.
Oh,
I'll
if you-
climb up your body. dude.
If you can get it,
Skitter up that thing. I
if
don't
you
care.
can get it, you can have it.
I do.
Let's see the athletics.
Let's do the athletics check. I'm not gonna resist.
I love that we're still arguing about giving Easy and Cameo this one. That's been like a third of this session. And I'm here for it.
Okay.
Give
What
me
is it? Is
athletics
it
check.
athletics or acrobatics?
Cammy. Athletics.
It's an 8.
I think clambering up a large orc man without a whole
Harness.
lot to, without a harness.
Safety line.
The little bereft of footholds. It's pretty difficult. And we're just kind of scrabbling at his pant leg. It's,
I keep scrambling and eventually like run out of breath. And I
we-
kind of step back and I straighten myself up and I look all the way up at him and say, "You're gonna regret this, man.
So
You're gonna remember this."
as we're still preparing, after that, I'm just gonna
The sound of your dignity.
saddle
slaps.
my way over to the kitchen area, take an empty little flask, just kind of fill it up with some of the gruel. Fuck it. Looks like a firebomb to me. Just walk back over to Cammy. Here you go. I changed my mind.
Do I get any kind of roll on this?
make me a deception check, Andy, to give her your oatmeal grenade.
I've got to really think hard about my words here.
We've used 2 hero
Natural
points.
20.
Oh,
We've used 2 hero points on trying to deceive each
Thank
other
you, Congo.
today. Natural 20. He hands you an alchemist. He gives you a fire starter.
okay. Thank you.
Just don't throw it at anything next to me, please.
Okay. Why would I do
Still
that?
warm.
It's so warm. It smells like cornmeal.
This one's spicy.
Thank you.
We're off to fight the ghosts.
Nothing for easy.
No.
Easy, just to be
Do I
said.
see
Using
this
a
interaction
plastic
happen?
rule.
What?
Do I see this all happen?
I mean, I imagine you're all together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll think of something.
Oh, do you see him put the oatmeal in the
No.
bomb, or
I'll just like I see Cammy get the thing.
oh, she can't get the bomb?
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, is Easy gonna get one though?
He voted for you to have one.
Wait. So, but do you
But
still have
your
one? on
hands
your-
are full, dude. Why?
I gave the
have 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then, but so Cammy has one, and then you still have one, or is it hidden?
I
in
have 2. I had 3.
Okay.
And I gave her 1.
Okay. All right. Let's go
Um,
fight ghosts.
okay. Yeah, so
We
great
had
party
5.
trust we're building here.
what's going on right now?
We had 5. He has 2. I have 2. You have 1.
You just said you have 3.
I had 3 and I gave you 1. Now I have
You
2.
just said no. You just said
We're going to fight the ghost. I just walked
Okay.
off.
Okay.
At this point,
We're
I
off
walked.
to fight the ghosts.
Easy. You can have
You
mine.
go to Administrator
Okay.
Lissandra's office to hopefully die in pain, screaming in agony.
I'm gonna give mine to Easy as soon as they walk away.
Yes.
And I'm gonna say because you can like throw it harder with the magic stuff. So
You
that's what I'm saying.
you head
Is that book one?
Yeah.
into
All right.
the office once again.
One in each hand.
The situation still looks exactly identical to what you had left. Nothing has changed. The pool even hasn't moved. There is still like the footprints where MD had run through it. There was still the entire body and face imprint where Trey had collapsed into it. There was still a crossbow bolt just kind of wedged into Administrator Lissandro's shoulder. She has not moved at all. You see, as you come in looking over this again, make me perception checks. You've got a moment. You know exactly what's going to happen this turn. You've got a moment to look around.
People thinking about me lying.
You feel
18.
sad. What?
18.
18?
10.
13 on the die. 19.
19, 18 and 19. Trey and Cammy would both notice that there was a little glint on Administrator Lissandro's hip, just kind of catching the light from the lantern occasionally through the swirling colors of the mist. It looks like she has a keyring looped through her belt. You have not come across any explicitly locked doors as of yet, but as the administrator of the asylum, very likely she has the keys to literally everything. All of you would notice looking around the room as you kind of ready here, seeing if there's anything that's changed, seeing, I don't know if there's anything that could help. And that she's got a lot of various framed artwork and portraiture around the office. But one of them is a little strange. It's actually just behind you. It'll be on your side of the hearth, on your right against the wall as you come into the room. It's a small collection. A collection of what appears to be a half dozen charcoal sketches on single, smallish sheets of parchment. While they are well made, it is a very large difference from the incredible paintings and landscapes and portraits she has elsewhere throughout the room. And yet they are set in an incredibly fine frame, as if they were put together very carefully with a high importance. They depict rather strange sights. All 6 of them looking to be vistas from a distant viewpoint of an endless, strangely empty city under a sky of tumbling and whirling wind. Looking across them, they seem oddly familiar to all of you, and you aren't sure why.
Oh, that's all bit familiar.
I'm not really sure why.
Well then,
We can deal with that after this.
red one first.
Yeah, I'm going to step forward until they start to appear again.
Dagger in one hand, firebomb in the other. Let's go.
And
Go-
I've got one alchemist flask in each hand.
as you go to stride double fisting grenades into the mist here to see what happens. The creatures, again, these figures The same 3 with no changes. The red coalescence of the tattered man, the blue of the old woman, and the purple of this masked figure again form and appear and approach. And for the second time today, as we walk in to Lysandro's aura, it's time to fight. Give me some initiative. I'll assume one of you is obviously scouting, seeing as you are very intentionally triggering this fight, and you all take your +1 to initiative. In addition, you know
This is plan A. This is plan A.
you know what is about to happen. You know you're walking into a fight. You are not being caught unawares. You will all have your reactions immediately, regardless of where you are in initiative, because you are prepared for this. You aren't being surprised. You aren't being ambushed. You, I hope.
Can my reaction just be to lob a bomb?
I mean, your reaction can be a reaction, but like you don't have like a ready to action. But like if one triggers before your turn, you do have it. We'll go around this time from the right. Kemi,
That's a 16 on the die, so a 22.
22, easy.
Natural 20.
Woo!
Plus 7.
That was
27.
plan A.
That was
Plan
plan
A, dude. Back
MD.
at it.
20 total.
And what did you have total, Kemi? At 22.
22.
Trey,
10.
10. Trey's got bombs in his hand. He's got bombs, 2 bombs and a dream. This man's ready for action. He's not ready for speed. He's okay. He can endure. He's a strong boy. I believe in him. Whoa, my dice, come back. The Tatterman forms together. 16. The strange old woman, a 23. And the masked figure, an 18. Easy, this was plan A.
This is plan A.
You are first.
Okay.
You see them all bearing down in the mist upon Trey and MD as they stride forward. What do you do?
Well, I have a fire flask.
You do have a fire flask.
So I'm going to start when they're not in the way, and I'm going to throw it.
Well, fortunately, this is a perfect opportunity because they're far enough back that you could throw your flask directly at Lysandro and
Yeah.
hit everybody with splash.
Let's go.
All of the specters, but not your own team.
This is the perfect opportunity. I'm going to go for it.
Yeah, you throw it out there, and I mean, I don't think we know what happens.
All right. 19.
You're really rolling for it.
It's like a 20. It's like a 22.
Going right in the head.
I'm not sure this would burst like an alchemist fire is supposed to.
Crack,
Because like the
wouldn't it?
roll's pretty thick. Like this is gonna like a thick. It's gonna crack. It's gonna hit her like a. I don't even know. It's not gonna be like a water balloon or like a bomb like an alchemist fire is because there's no outward force. It's just gonna hit and just
1 point of damage.
against her head and just crack and sort of stick there on her temple as you see this cornmeal gruel stripped out her face.
I'm going to glare.
I'm not even going to turn around and look. It must be a defective one.
Very clearly.
That could have been
cornmeal.
somebody's lunch. The food's scarce. Okay. And then with the rest of my action, I'm going to do...
You're so dead, dude.
Telegram dial, MD.
No cause for alarm. Today is not the day we buy the proverbial farm. The situation we're in is hairy, and that foe is quite scary. To you, there will come no harm. And I'm going to do Sanctuary again.
Nice, dude.
Plan A.
Plan A.
Cammy protected back in the corner.
Here for nothing.
You would see the old woman, the blue specter, pass forward. Seemingly a will separate, perhaps, from Lysandro. The clearest and most direct target would obviously be you, Trey. But she drifts almost up alongside you, her hands now again outstretched towards MD, behind you. A little bit at the edge, almost the fringes of the mist, as if to draw him in. And as she does, this smile, this wicked grin upon her face, she's going to reach out for an 18.
I, once again, just take a step back.
No.
Please stop.
Okay, is a one-off.
I wish you wouldn't.
I so rarely actually get to use my
Against
weapon.
me.
Yeah.
3 times against me.
Yeah, well, it's always you when it does happen, but like it doesn't
You
happen.
were baned.
I got blessed.
Bane him.
Say that. Bane him real quick.
No, no, he had it coming.
Yeah.
He deserved
He's
it.
got it coming.
We have divided the party.
This is your comeuppance.
Striking.
You see?
Okay, for the sake of argument, can I AOO with a flask?
Just
No. You.
hit him with the flask.
It's a thrown weapon. I literally. I mean, if you want to just smash it, like there's not to smash it on. They're not solid. You can just like burst on yourself.
They're allowed to.
Why did you guys get spot?
They're allowed to do that, and I can't.
If you want to burst it as he moves by, because the problem is you have to throw it, and you can't throw it as an attack of opportunity. I would let you just like smash it in your hand. You're gonna be the primary target, though. You know they're weak to it.
Yeah, I'm also weak to fire. It turns out I die when I'm lit on fire.
Eventually,
Yeah, so same for them.
a round's only 6 seconds. You got several rounds for you to incinerate.
Anyways, it hits
Anyway,
me.
he's gonna touch you. You're gonna take 7 points of mental damage. And this is the point normally where you would feel the same kind of thing. Her sort of almost grasping into your mind, just like she done for Trey. You feel this weird fear and anguish start to overcome you. Trey, you felt this
I can just
from
punch her.
her before. I guess you're not gonna do anything, but like you can. It'll make you feel better.
Yeah.
As you're swinging, and I'm getting re-blessed. Don't. You know what is coming for MD here, and almost kind of instinctively, you try to steady him. As you realize that the old woman is moving past you and towards him, you very quickly bark something out. It sounds like an order. For MD, it's a distraction. I need you to make me a will save. You get a +1 bonus from Trey's martial aura.
I knew it.
First of all, you have a permanent aura around you of 10 feet that gives everyone a bonus against fear effects. Second of all, you are an expert at intimidation. I don't think you have that on your sheet right now.
I actually pre-filled out for this dedication based on intimidation. I was ready.
You were going to take it on purpose, so, or
No,
you were
guessed.
that confident
Yes.
is what I picked?
Yeah.
Well, you're right. You are a marshal. you called it. I'll give it to you. We'll save.
Already got it planned out to level 20. What do you think I'm doing?
There's so many archetypes. How can you be that confident? I'm going to give you specifically martial.
I
9.
can show you right now.
I've got a
He ran
9.
the numbers.
I ran the numbers.
Karma. Karma
With the
be here.
9, you are going to be frightened one, as even with this distraction, everything falls away as you feel this grip on your mind and you scream. Everybody else make me a stress check.
Aw,
You're all close enough this time.
3. Give me one more.
Oh, you know what? Hold on.
No, I spent it all to lie.
Babe.
Oh, the consequences of my actions.
No, it's better. Thank you.
He's finally in the lead.
14.
14.
It was a
Easy.
free.
Sick.
Oh, are you blessed?
Yes.
It's a DC 7 stretch.
Oh. Thank you.
Careful over there.
Oh.
You're good. But with that, you feel this numbness. You don't feel her hand. You don't feel so much of anything at all. But she makes a motion, almost like to pull you towards her. Like it looks outwardly like a grandmotherly hug, but it's a bad time for all involved. No way that's gonna hit with the multiple attack penalty, which is going to bring us to Cammy.
Cammy,
No one's failed a stress check today. I've rolled so many of them.
Just failed one.
Well, yeah, but other stress check.
okay. So, glaring at MD.
Axel turn.
Rebless easy from Saiyan Fox 10.
I'm going to look around at all the weapons everybody is using. What does everybody have out again? I've got my crossbow. You've got
Currently, I just have 2 alchemist flasks. I have a few weapons on me,
Okay.
and I've already told my intention to use the maul.
It's the
on
maul.
these.
Yes. Okay.
I have this silver dagger and a punching gauntlet on.
And I have a sap.
A viola.
You got a what?
A sap?
What a thing?
Sap on his belt somewhere.
And I got rocks.
Is blackjack. It's a little whooping stick.
It's like a little bonker.
I'm going to kind of focusing in on 2 of the weapons in our group. I'm gonna say, oh, hold on, I think I could do something, and I'm gonna cast disrupting weapons, and one of them is going to be on your maul. And can
the
I
other
do it on
one-
the slingshot?
It's like they have a slingshot. He just throws them with magic.
You could do it on the crossbow.
Yeah, no, I'm doing it on the crossbow.
Screw you guys.
Get
Go on the
wrecked,
crossbow.
dude.
No. It's
Brought this
warranted.
to yourself.
It's warranted. It was funny.
The consequences of your actions have caught up to you.
It's fine.
And then with my last action, I'm going to look specifically as Cammy's kind of like laser focusing in, making strong eye contact with you as you can see sort of like a glow ripple up your battle axe or not your battle axe, your maul and my crossbow. I'm going to look towards just past you to the blue one, which is the old lady.
Yes.
Are you telling me to beat an old lady with a stick?
Yes.
Okay, listen.
Situation is dire.
Listen.
Okay.
I look past you to her and I meet her eyes and I say, I dare you to do it. And I'm gonna cast Needle of Vengeance on her. So whenever she tries to perform a attack on Trey, she will take 2 mental damage.
She's going after MD. Buff Trey. Keep hitting MD.
Okay.
The consequences of your decisions. Speaking of MD. Oh, the one finally failed. As it comes around to your turn here, I'm excited. I haven't got any cool stress things for that.
Ethan goes and stabs himself.
You have a dagger
Get out of me!
and a firebomb.
You have the dagger and the firebomb.
I'm about to eat
You-
another firebomb.
You feel this, and you see them in front of you, and you kind of immediately sort of panic and just throw the firebomb at the ground towards the blue ghost, and it splashes over all. You're gonna take 1 point of splash damage. Trey's gonna take 1 point of splash damage, and the fire is again going to rip up the form of the Tatterman and the form of the old woman. And that clarity of the pain as you splash it over yourself without stepping away or anything kind of brings you back to your senses, and you have 2 actions left.
You know what's funny?
What?
That was exactly what I was going to do anyway.
Stress actions aren't necessary. They're not like completely game ruining. I mean, they're impulsive, instinctive. They might be useful sometimes. They might make sense. Sometimes they'll make less sense.
Well, then I'm just going to do...
It's okay when he does it.
Oh, I see.
I'm not happy about it either.
Stop hitting me with
That's now
alchemist
3
fire.
people I don't trust with alchemist
You've
fire.
literally been blown up by every
Well,
other
to be
member
fair,
of the
I
party
blew
who's here
myself up
right
in
now.
that too.
I've never thrown an alchemist fire.
Did you
Never
not?
ever.
I just don't
I've
trust...
never
I
gotten
just,
to hold a real
You
one.
twice.
It was me
I
twice.
always yes.
I've made the comment that I don't trust Cammy with an alchemist fire.
I guess it just kind of bled into
Yeah,
my
and
consciousness.
Cammy has never
She's
thrown
the
one.
only one who hasn't hurt anybody, hurt
There's
Trey.
no precedent for that.
There is no precedence.
President.
There's no president.
I'm stabbing.
Stab.
Okay.
Are you?
It's with a -4 because it's the second attack. 14.
14's not gonna hit.
Third one, so 13.
13's definitely not gonna hit.
I'm stabbing.
Ha ha!
He's doing his best. You're swinging and swiping at this ghost. Whatever magical essence there is across your blade, you see kind of slowly ripping at their form, but not terribly effectively. The masked figure is also going to approach, but he doesn't move so much towards you as he does just walk around you. He walks right past Trey and MD as if you two aren't even there, and Trey swings.
No, I'm rolling my
Goes.
save preemptively.
Oh, fair enough. As he
I know
moves
what's
up,
about to happen.
his arms out to the sides, his blank masked face looking not at particularly easy or Cammy, but almost just a space between them. as he approaches and extends his hands, and again, this swirling purple mist now envelops the whole party. As I need all 4 of you to make me a reflex save.
How if we stood
Natural
in the corner,
20.
we might be
Because I
okay.
re-rolled it. Was a 4.
Good hero point. MD,
23.
23, solid, easy.
13.
Okay.
11 on the die, 19.
The only one who's going to get caught by this is EZ, as everyone else is going to be able to get out of the way either because they're kind of behind it or have caught it before or are just very small. EZ is going to take my D4. No, it's in the mixer cables. Oh, that's my only one.
Was that your only one? You have like 4 sets over there.
2. Oh yeah, I do have a bunch of D4s over here. Actually, you're right. 2 points of mental damage,
Oh.
and you are stupefied 1 and clumsy 1.
Oh no.
Good thing I'm not clumsy with a fire blast.
Got him.
Get him. Get him.
Absolutely
Yeah.
got him. That's
Yeah,
what
dude.
That's what we're looking for.
I'm always stupefied.
And the Tatterman is going to step around, almost interposing himself between Trey with the bombs in hand and the administrator as he reaches out with the razor. He, almost unintentionally it seems, is going to be flanking with the masked figure as he reforms back behind you. So you will be flat-footed against the 28
That would have crit me without flanking.
to hit. Yeah, that's a big one. That's a high number on that die. So you are going to take
Did you max damage?
no.
Pretty close.
Yeah. You're going to take 20 points of mental damage. As this razor, you see it, the fog and form of this figure stick out all the way behind him as it rips cleanly through his entire body, and you feel almost all feeling.
19 on the fort save.
19 on the fort save is a
So,
regular success.
That's going to be a 28.
Oh, 19 on the die.
Yeah.
Oh, 28 is a critical success. He crit you, so you're 1 degree of success, whereas the regular success, which still means nothing happens. But,
I'm not about to lose my blood.
I mean, no, you're. It's not. You don't lose your blood so
Drained.
much as you lose your
Your blood gets haunted.
ability. Your blood gets very
Your
haunted.
blood gets haunted.
You
You can't donate anymore.
almost kind of stumbling from this cause the follow-up slash to miss you entirely, as it is now your turn.
Well, staggering back from such a vicious blow, Trey, with his hands full of pain and anguish, as he 5 foot steps away from them and throws 2 fireballs in his face, targeting the square he's in,
Fair enough.
and then draws my maul while
I don't think you get to the draw. You get 5 foot step, boom, but
oh yeah, 5 foot step, boom, boom.
But
Oh, I don't have to 5 foot step.
just gonna blow yourself. Oh, you can
No,
throw
right
behind,
behind
him. I
him.
guess. That's true.
Yeah,
You just
so
kind of
I'll just
lob
chuck,
it out.
Say, oh my god, I don't know what they did, but that hurts.
And as
Maul
one
in hand.
blast and then the other rip through them, the fire is starting to burn away visible portions now of the old woman in blue and the Tatterman in red. It's almost like chunks of them are missing as the mist tries to swirl back in and refill, but it can't fix them as fast as the fire is burning them away. Easy.
Trey does not look well.
That looked like it hurt a lot.
Trey looked like he got very hurt, yes.
Okay. Well, I'll look at Trey, but I'll also give a side glance to MD. And I'll
Give
say,
it a guy, man.
And as you look at the pair of them, you see the other firebomb that MD has on his belt.
yeah.
And you are going to, in a quick reaction, seeing this affection just burn, you are going to step up and reach down and take it. That's 2 actions. You have 1 left. You just kind of do it. Partially because you think it seems to be very effective. Partially out of maybe a little bit of spite. You have 1 action left.
One action.
Smash it on him.
Screw you!
Well, Trey doesn't look well, and I own it, which is good. I don't have to use it, but if I have it. So I'm just gonna. That makes me feel courageous, owning a flask of fire. So I will make a little tune about that. I will-
What do you do with the flask of fire? What do you do with the flask of
His song, inspiring as it is
Oh my
strange,
God.
continues as the specters sort of turn around here. The old lady definitely looks quite wounded and turns towards Trey. Her grin sort of fading, her head twisting, half of her face just formless mist at this point, and she reaches out now with both hands, desperately almost clawing out to try to grab you. For an 18.
To grab who?
me?
To grab.
That
Trey.
triggers needles.
Those
2 damage.
She
Get
takes
wrecked.
2. Yep, she takes it.
Gets so wrecked.
So this is This is what, magical piercing damage?
It's mental.
Mental.
You would feel your spell trigger, but
Ah.
it's not as if they ignore it. It's not as if they are mindless. It's just, again, these incorporeal forms, magic can hurt them, but they're still very resistant to things that are not designed specifically to handle them. The 2 damage is going to do nothing to her as she reaches out towards you with 18 to hit.
That hits.
And a regular hit this time for 8 points of mental damage. And a will save.
I'll take a 12.
We're not good at this.
I'll be feared.
And you as well cry out
Can I get
again.
my own bonus?
I'm not sure. Doesn't make a difference on this one.
Yeah,
but
it
we'll have
doesn't.
to
Just
look.
curious.
You're frightened one, and as you in anguish mixed with just a lot of actual fear, you feel your body, probably 28 damage, starting to fail you. Stress check from the other 3.
Ugh.
I got a 10.
Good.
12.
Good.
15.
You're good.
I'm good with my firefly.
You feel all better now.
But she continues to try to
Like,
grasp,
close
almost
to your
trying to
chest.
push you away from Lissandro. A 13 on the second attack is not going to hit, and a third reaching out with a 4 is not
Almost.
going as close. He's getting closer. Isn't going to hit you either. As we come around to Cammy,
That's me.
that's
Well,
you.
guess what? I'm not gonna spend an action to sustain Needle of Vengeance.
You indeed do not. But seeing Trey, his knees kind of wavering a little bit, these specters laying into him, you don't have any fire bombs. You don't have anything. A moment of fear kind of overcomes you. You don't know what you can do. You have this sanctuary effect, but before you can even think differently, you dart back out of the door.
Oh shoot!
And you don't run down the hall, but you flip around to the other side. Back to the side of the door frame, just putting this all out of sight for a moment. Taking a second of like panicked breathing to steady yourself. You have 2 actions left. Now we're feeling all the stress. They're instinct checks.
I kind of press myself up against the wall, taking some moments to sort of steady my breath, and I just peer. Is the door open there?
Yes, you don't shut it. You
Okay,
just
excellent.
duck around to the outside. It was a single
Yeah.
action.
I just kind of peer just barely around the edge, and okay.
Sure, wish you had a third action, don't you?
Yes, I do. And
You were coming in here with the express purpose of fighting this. Like, you can have your crossbow loaded in your hand.
yeah.
If that's like you're carrying it out at the ready. So, like, your crossbow can be loaded right now. You just can't carry it out on your back loaded.
I'm going to just kind of shakily shout inside, Trey, are you doing okay?
No.
Okay, and then okay. So I'm going to cast Forbidding Ward on Trey and the one that is fighting him.
The tattered man in red and the old woman in blue are both currently focused on
They're
him.
both focused on him. I'll do it on
mean-
Tattered Man.
Okay. And with that, MD.
You can keep that fire flask. I'm gonna step back around to be flanking with this guy. I forget what color he is.
You
Flanking
flanking
which of the spectrums?
The one that Cammy was just next to. So I'm staring directly at him, and you should be reading my mind right now.
So you're taking the you're taking the doorway.
Yeah.
Hoping back around this purple masked figure.
Cammy, there's a pouch on my right hip. There's another fire flask.
Are you so serious right now, dude?
I'm so serious right now.
And then you have this plan here, and she sort of stumbles, doesn't immediately respond. You've got the dagger in one hand, your other hand's free from you to the bomb. You just reach into the bag and pull it out and just hold it out to her, just waiting.
What my last action?
It's 2 actions.
2 actions.
You're pulling it out and you're just waiting.
Okay.
When your stress is higher, the actions. Oh, you are not. You're only at 4 stress actually. You'll just pull it out. You have 1 action left.
Yeah.
You can't take a 2 action instinct.
Yeah, I'll just pull out like.
There are rules here. You just don't know them.
As
You're the one who's not there yet.
yeah. Woo. There's a fire. As I'm saying, there's a fire pouch in my right pocket. I just like pull it out and I'm holding it like, well, now it's in my right hand. And I'm gonna stab with my left hand. I'm narrating everything I'm doing now. It's just 16 on the die plus 9 to
Are you
25.
blessed?
I am blessed.
26 will crit against the flat-footed. They are immune to precision damage. They are not immune to particularly decisive strikes.
Here's my.
Now you don't get your sneak attack, but you do have. I mean, the silver doesn't do anything, but yeah, just
Plus
double
1 does.
stab. +1 does.
3 plus. Did he inspire courage?
Yes.
So 8, 16.
16.
Stab. Oh, sorry, stab.
And you stick your dagger through, and you see the mist just away where you stab, leaving just a visible hole in the center of this purple figure as it looks down, kind of confused.
Fight me.
And it is going to reach out and almost like to grab onto your arm. It's just going to attack you. Natural 1. It's very confused.
Fight me.
This hole you punch through its center expands as it once again just turns into swirling purple vortex. I need everyone to make me a reflex.
No, none of that.
The purple one does one thing. Has a job.
25.
You're
Oh my
fine.
gosh.
17.
Okay, 25, 17.
Is it reflex?
Yes,
Okay, 22.
22.
17 on the die, 22.
22. All of you regularly succeed. I have been screwing this up a little bit on a regular success. You are still flat-footed as your focus is kind of dodging
I'm already
this
flat.
swirl here. But there's no damage or anything from that. The Tatterman is the one that has the forbidding word on him, which goes, what, a -1 to his attack rolls? As he
One to AC.
plus +1 to his AC as he continues to swipe out towards you with the razor blade tray, seemingly intent on bringing you down. 28 again.
I go down to a crit.
Wait, you get +1 to your armor class.
Yeah, but I'm flanked.
Oh, but you're flanked. Never mind.
And as I do still need the fortitude save.
That I'm not worried about. Yeah, that's going to be 22.
Yeah, you're fine. As the Tatterman slashes through him again, Trey's legs give out entirely as he collapses on the ground on the edges of the mist. The Tatterman strides forward, moving towards Easy, bringing his razor back up again
Okay.
before he swipes down. Only a 14 to hit on the second attack. Easy does not want any of that. It's
Not
your...
today, dude.
No. It's your turn, good sir.
Okay. I have a flask of fire. Trey's on the ground.
Trey's
Trey's
on
on
the
the
ground.
ground.
So I will say, deception is a double-edged sword. Lies hurt inward. I kill them with kindness. Words I don't miss. For Trey, I have healing word. And I'm going to soothe you.
If you threw the fireball, I was going to throw the table at you.
Just kill him.
Okay, 4 plus 4. Wait, yeah.
Yeah. 8 points of health restored to Trey.
And-
Blacked out for a moment there.
And
And
don't you roll?
Do I
me-
have to make the roll?
Yes. Join us. Join us back in the land of 6 stress.
4.
Ah, still at 7 stress. Fair enough. But you wake up on the floor, wounded 1, and Easy still has 1 action left.
yeah, and I'll just keep playing my little song. I got a flask of fire.
I got a plastic fire. I got a plastic fire.
Can't guess what's inside.
Trust is a must. It's true for bust, and MD is a liar.
I got
He had the rest of the song. I thought he was
India's
just
a
rolling
liar.
us.
Indeed is a liar. This is a very true statement.
The blue spirit, the old woman, continues to push forward. All 3 of them now in a line before you, Easy. As you dodge back from the Tatterman. Oh,
I'm awake.
you have the maul in your hand. You have an actual weapon. Give me an attack of opportunity.
Does disrupting weapon make it ghost touch?
It gives it an extra 1d4 positive damage.
It is now
To
ghost touch.
undead.
Okay, yeah, I'll let you do it. Yeah, it says you attack. Yeah, you trigger the talisman and activate the ghost touch powers in your maul.
I mean, it's an 8, but I think I'm still gonna keep it because that's a 19.
19 is going to hit. And as he wakes up on the ground, what?
Oh, 20.
20 definitely.
20.
hits. As he wakes up on the ground and sees this, as she just walks away from him and swings the mallet up towards her. You see for the first time something different happened. The mallet absolutely looks like it connects. The woman's body snaps to the side from the impact.
How would you like? Is it D4?
Yes. Oh, yes.
20 damage.
21 down.
21
damage. And you see her body distort and crumple like she was physical as the maul whips through her and she just gone
Yeah, that was max damage.
in a spray of color.
That's corporeal
Absolutely.
That's
Hammy. So it lasts a round, which means it's still going to be active on your turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
Hammy.
mad.
seeing
Yeah, I get to kill more than one now.
Yeah.
seeing the alchemist's fire offered up to me,
Is your
cowering behind the door wall.
Man.
Huh?
Man.
I reach out and timidly grab it, kind of like waiting for it to be like, oh, like, oh, you can't have it. And I take it, and I'm immediately chucking it.
Zero hesitation in your soul. All right. Where are you throwing it?
I'm gonna try and throw it at Tattered Man.
Okay. You throw it towards him. The ball itself is going to pass through his body and burst on the floor beneath him. It doesn't have any way to contact with him. Easy's going to take 1 point of fire damage. Trey's going to take 1 point of fire damage. And both the Tattered Man and the masked figure are going to again burst into flames.
Yes.
This time, there was a pretty decisive hit against the masked man, and the fire burns away almost half of his body. From the waist down, he's just gone. The Tattered Man, I suppose, perhaps ironically, is near nothing but tatters left in the mist. Nothing but almost a floating face, a red haze, and this glint of the razor he keeps in his hand. You have 1 action left, Cammy. Grabby, throwy.
Grabby, throwy. 1 action left. I'm going to look at MD, having and I'm gonna just reach out a hand and touch his maybe knee. Actually, I was gonna say arm, but I don't think that's possible.
The hand's still
Like
down.
how you would like lay like a caring hand on like your arm or shoulder. I'm like just touching your calf. And I just
Gentle
look up.
caress.
I say, "We're cool now," and I'm gonna stoke the hearts.
I'm so stoked.
MD, you are stoked! And
Um,
Trey's awake, so the mask is flanked.
oh, this is even better. It's literally MD is kind of going into a flurry.
Now Cammy's hit you with an alchemist fire.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everyone-
Let's get the story straight,
Everyone on the list,
okay?
including you.
Yeah.
Everyone,
Did you hit yourself? All 4 of you?
Yes.
No, I didn't.
Oh, no, you threw it behind him. That's right. You
Oh,
threw it
I'm not gonna burn myself.
stabby. MD, I'm just going into a flurry because there's no vital points to stab. There's no calculation. It's just a mad stab. 16.
16 will hit. The specters aren't terribly hard to hit. That's not the problem we're gonna have.
You'll get a +2 status
So
bonus
overrides that one.
to your damage.
So 8.
Doesn't say.
Yeah, 8 total.
8 total. Okay. It's not going to do nothing. The rune and the dagger giving it some potency. It's going to slash away a little bit more of its form, but it is still going to be mostly blunted by the fact that it's a specter of some kind.
When in doubt, throw hands. Natural 20.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
What happens to the purple one?
It's literally
It's got 3 health.
actually it's more. I literally say when in doubt, throw hands, and I go with the dagger and just kind of at the same time instinctively just punch at the same time, and the dagger goes through. I'm like, how did I punch? I know that wouldn't work.
And as he sticks it through, the purple masked figure also just gone back into the cloud. 1 action left.
I'm kind of in a bloodlust. I'll throw the dagger at the last one.
Ooh. I'm going to tell you right now, the Tatterman has 1 hit point.
Come on, dude.
No.
And that was 2 on the die.
Luckily, it's not an improvised weapon like the last one.
That's true. It's an actual dagger, so it just flies through him and sticks into the desk behind him.
I'll get that later.
Trey, then. You have the Super Maul. He has 1 hit point.
So I'm gonna stand up and just bring it up like a fireman's axe over the shoulder, coming down. 4, that's an 11.
How do
22.
How do you end this?
But shattering the weapon across the ground. Bring it up, bring it over, cleave his figure in half, and just break them all.
Is this sledge you put together, the head just bursting off of the handle, sending splinters flying. The last of these specters absolutely just blasted back into the mist. It's an odd feeling. There's no visible physical injuries. There's no blood. None of you look any clearly worse for wear.
Somehow my screen looks an even worse shade of color than it normally is.
And other than this basically 1 dagger stuck in a desk and this massive blow where you struck the floor, the room is exactly as it was when you entered. There's no immediate sense of victory. There's no reward. Nothing has changed. But as you now all stand gathered in the doorway outside the cloud of mist, the spirits have been beaten back for now. Still, Lysandro kneels in the middle of the room. Still, the fog pouring unceasingly from her mouth.
I'm gonna get the keys while we still have a chance.
I'm gonna grab my dagger while I still have a chance.
You go and pull your knife out of the desk, and as Trey strides back into the fog.
Wait a second, Trey. Wait a second, Trey.
He's already doing it.
Wait.
Wait.
We're going to end today's session.
To me, face planting.
Yes.
I'm
Defying all physics. Like
just drops down on his knees, head lands gently in Lysandro's
Ragdoll,
lap,
yep.
having a nice nap.
Mm-hmm.
He deserves it.
Gotta get the health back.
Next week, when we return, whatever those spirits were, hopefully we have beaten them back for some time. This hasn't done anything about the situation with Lysandro herself, nor the mist. What happens when Trey walks into it now, if anything, is a mystery we'll answer next weekend.
It's a mystery.
Uh,
Can't believe you didn't see that one.
Dude.
Bruh.
You're gonna have to resign.
I can't do that, I suppose. I gotta give it to him. Thank you for joining us, everyone. We'll be back next week, next Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, but we have a lot more tabletop stuff coming over the weekend. Because, I kept saying UGT is going to have more than like 1 show, but we're doing it. We're at the point now. We're coming online. We've got this every Saturday. We've got Malevolence on Monday evening at 7 p.m. Me and Sully trade seats. I'm over there.
I'm over there.
She's over here. It's a good time for everyone involved. But now there's a third challenger in the ring because we're going to be live tomorrow afternoon as well. Tomorrow afternoon at 4, just an hour later than we normally start with Strange Aeons here. We're going to be starting something incredibly different. We're going to be trying an entirely new system known as Sentima Sundered Worlds. That's going to be all of our first foray into this, and it's our, as just, UGT first foray into a sponsored stream. So thank you very much to Ubies for giving us this opportunity. It's totally different from the things that we have played here before, and I'm super excited, honestly, to see how it all shakes out. Very different world, very different system. It is in fact not just a bucket of horror. We can do other things. We don't have to just do Strange Aeons and Malevolence and spooky campaigns.
We found the niche. We found
our thing. We just do spooky crap constantly. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully, we'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy your weekends, everybody. Good night.
Bye.